practically every one of the top 40 records being played on every radio station in the United States is a communication to the children to take a trip, to cop out, to groove. The psychedelic jackets on the record albums have their own influence.
This is a special question. We don't want you to smoke genetically modified ganja. We want you to smoke the real thing. We want you to smoke the natural herb. Some call it marijuana, some call it sensimedia, some call it lamb's bread, and some people call it ganja.
Some people call it reefer because we refer to it in just that manner.
Welcome to another edition of the Adam Dunn Show. I am your host, Adam Dunn.
Adam Dunn? How are we on the Adam Dunn Show and Adam ain't done yet? The show just started. Hold up, people.
It is true. It is true. I am never done. That's
what
the one,
I'm saying. So how's it called Adam Dunn? It's like we just started the interview. I'm like, damn, the man just introed it and then shut it down at the same time.
Shut it down.
I'm Adam and it's done.
Exactly.
That's it. Period. Wonderful for you tuning in. It was a hot 3 seconds and we're great.
I am here with Bushwick Bill live in the flesh.
That's right. Adam Dunn is here with Bushwick Bill live in the flesh. That's right.
And we got Mr.
That means I'm running around your city streaking.
Whiplash. I know.
Then we got Whiplash in the damn building because if there's something going on the other side of the street, he's definitely going to look at Whiplash.
And we got Jimmy.
Yeah.
Jimmy 2 times, only says things once.
and somewhere in the building.
We got Spice Boogie in the damn building. You know what I mean? It's going down. So be prepared for Spice1 to come through and let you know what time it is. Word. Yeah. And of course, I'm yours truly, Bushwick Bill. Too short for a long conversation. I haven't stopped talking yet. Okay, roger that.
Yeah, we don't. We definitely only need one guest today, I think, because Bushwick, you're
yes, I have multiple personalities. I have schizophrenia, frania schizzes, and schizzes that haven't made it to the frame yet. Okay, cool.
So let's start with the most obvious question. What the hell are you here for?
Let's start with a more obvious question. Why are you short? My daughter just asked me that today. She's 5 years old and she's like, "Daddy, why are you short?" I said, "Because God made me this way." She said, No. Why are you short? I said, "Because God made me this way." She's like, "What do you mean?" I was like, "Father God, Heavenly God, up there made me." She said, "Oh, the guy from church." She just figured it out. When I say God made me, she think it's the guy from church, the pastor. So for all of you out there that don't know why I'm short, God and my parents had a part in it. And I refuse to pardon them because it's not a crime for me to be this cool. Adam Dunn, what else you want to ask me? Because I know you ain't done yet. Adam, what's up, yo? What's up, man? What's up?
I am not done. So
we got Whiplash in the building, yo.
Exactly.
And we got Jimmy 2 times, only says it 1 time. You better get it right. First time.
And March 22nd is the date, right? Because
yes, it's today.
And today is...
It's today. Hey, if you don't know that Herman has a hideaway, that the hideaway is at the Herman, and that the Spice and the Bushwick is there because we're hiding away with the Herman, and the Herman got the hideaway, and we're in the den because it's got the fur. And I just went through the corridor in Colorado, and I'm here at Denver's Hideaway. Yo, I'm at the Adam Dunn Show. I'm going to be at Herman's Hideaway. So if you want to be a castaway with me, you do not have to look for Gilligan. Just look for Bushwick Bill at Herman's Hideaway. I'm outrageous. I'm sorry. I don't have no mental capital if I don't know when to stop.
You definitely got a good flow for a show, my friend. Because you like seems like there's people like that. You like yourself. They're a show 24/7, and
you got to be.
If and there's other people who obviously can't relate, and there's other people who just see the fact that you're just. I love the fact. I don't know. I'm blown away already. Put it that way.
Yeah, I mean, they just had to understand the reason why we on these shows because there's holistic healing in cannabis. I mean, there's more than one purpose for the plant.
Yeah, tell me your connection on cannabis because
Well, I'm
born in
Jamaican,
and I was gonna say,
first and foremost.
I was gonna say you're born in Jamaica, so that just makes it
Yeah,
automatic.
but
right?
no, but the crazy part is you would think because you're Jamaican, like every Jamaican smokes weed. It's not true.
No.
Most Jamaicans make herb tea. Like if you have a cold, they take the plant and they boil it with the mint tree leaf
Sure.
and the marijuana. They put it inside of a pot and boil it. And when you drink that tea, when you go to sleep and wake up, you actually throw up the root of the cold that is in your chest.
Right.
So that way you are completely over the cold in 24 hours.
Yeah, that's.
Yeah, I mean, so that's what I know about it because I used to have bronchial asthma bad when I was a kid, and you know, and herb tea cured me every time because I wouldn't be able to breathe for weeks. You know what I mean? So,
Sure.
yeah.
And you know that's like literally when I was younger and reading about cannabis and I was seeing all the medicinal qualities of it. It was kind of like it was there. I read about it because I read a lot of literature, but it didn't seem to, you know, register for anybody until the last, you know, 15 years or so, where it's like now kind of like becoming a normal thing. Like in 2001, you know, 2002, hardly anybody heard of CBD, but you know, we like the first.
They did, but they refused to because if you heard of anything called herbal extract, that is CBD.
Yeah, it's all, and it's even better because it's got everything inside instead of, because that is the problem right now. I think with
Think about it, right?
people,
Like herb tea. How long have we heard the word herb tea since we were born?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And then when like Christopher Columbus, right? They talked about he came to America. He had herbs and spices. King Solomon in the Bible, they said the Queen of Sheba brought him herbs and spices. I mean, think about it. If the herb is a spice, why is it herb and spice? But then again, that's just me.
That's why I smoke a lot of herb because my name is Spice.
There you go. Spice Boogie is in the building, yo. 187 Fact is a Spice.
What's up?
Welcome.
Yeah, man. You know, I agree with everything, you know, that everybody is saying about marijuana. I love it. I smoke it all day, every day.
Yeah, you know, it's kind of crazy because like growing up, I was always feeling like I was kind of on the, you know, I knew I was on the wrong side of the law, but I knew I was on the right side of like
nature.
You know,
the
right side of my head, basically, the right side of myself. You know, because it was like just naturally I went for cannabis. I didn't drink when I was younger. I drank later, but when I was like 16, 17, 18, I thought, no, you know what I mean? I'm just going to do weed, and it was kind of like formulative because then I moved to Australia, and it was over, you know, because you can't not drink in Australia.
The whole thing is crazy because, you know, I mean, I don't know if I'm mistaken or not, but did they say either was it George Washington or somebody was using
Benjamin Franklin. And Thomas Jefferson.
It was all using
herbalists.
Yeah, all the founding fathers, because they recognized it as like the buffalo of
as a matter
plants,
of fact,
you're using it for rope.
I agree with you because our founding fathers was so cool with cannabis that guess what?
Pay your taxes.
The law of independence is written on the cannabis.
Yeah.
It was like
paper.
It was literally like
paper.
it was kind of like the way you look at computers now, right? Because everything was made out of paper then.
Yeah.
So paper made power, and paper was what you wrote things down on, and you like that was where the documents were. The documents was worth money, and it always is like that. It's either paper, you know, like a piece of paper could be worth a lot of money.
Right.
It could be worth
depending on what's written on it.
Exactly. So,
Yeah.
And it's just paper at the end of the day, right?
Yeah.
It's just a matter of everybody agrees this is worth this much, and sometimes it blows your mind when you see stacks of paper, and you know you're just looking at it, and it's like weird with.
Yeah.
Some people never see money in like large amounts, but when you see large amounts of money, whether it be for performing or just somebody dealing or whatever it is, you see how much work is involved just by the shape of it. You know what I mean? If it's really clean, you know, the guy's just, it's easy.
Yeah.
And if it's all beat up and, you know,
I think they can, you know, they can, you know, help the rainforest or whatever, they're killing all of the trees. They can just do the grow the hemp and then use that for everything.
Sure.
Why don't they just do that? You know?
Well, that's the thing is right now they are realizing it because it's weird too because it took cannabis to make hemp legal, which is like the opposite. It should have been hemp to make cannabis legal.
Been the opposite.
But now all of a sudden they're like, oh yeah, this hemp shit's pretty good too. And once they get really behind it and start putting money behind it, it's going to be balls out because you can do everything. You can make tables. You can make all sorts, anything that's like
just think about it. But just think about it. I mean, the cannabis has been used for everything, including paintings, and the paper lasts longer than regular.
Like a lot of almost in Holland because that was where I was living for a long time. it's kind of funny because they don't understand their own culture, right? They do, but they kind of hide it. Like if you go to their museums, everything says natural or flax or whatever. But you're like, nope, this is made out of hemp. And I went to a lot of the museums and walked around and said, this is hemp, this is hemp, this is hemp, this is hemp. And me and the owner,
but they're right when they call it natural.
And they just say natural, and they don't want to say the word hemp. And you're like,
He just Dion's don't want to say the word hemp.
In Holland, they have all these windmills, right? The windmills are mostly they were hemp mills, so they were making hemp to make rope, to make the rope, to make the ships, to make the ships to go get the shit and go. So it was like kind of like the most crucial part, and yet they kind of don't really talk about it, which is weird because. You know, when you base everything on like fortune back then, it was whatever they could get. You know what I mean? They had to get it by ship.
Yeah.
So it was weird. Hemp was like the most crucial part, and yet people kind of like that's hardly mentioned.
No, they know hemp is important, or else in every city across the United States they wouldn't have a place called Hempstead.
Oh, there's hemp everything, right?
Yeah, there's a Hempstead in every city.
What is Hempstead?
It's just like a homestead. It's where they would actually grow the plants, but they don't want to tell you that.
Oh, okay.
It's probably where they were trading it, or it was the main spot.
Yeah, it was a trading post type shit.
Yeah.
That would be the guy who had the best weed, probably. If you really think about it, or the best access to the best hemp.
But just think about the barter system. Like most people would work just to get hemp because of his healing processes and its longevity for whatever you use it for your home.
Yeah, well, it's like it's just got like pulled out of society like around the 40s.
Not really. If you before they did the movie Reefer Madness and try to convince people that marijuana would make you commit suicide
and kill other
people.
Yeah, that was crazy.
That's not what's happening.
But then later, a few years later, it did become illegal, and that was kind of the weird part about.
You remember that they had it legal all the way up until Nixon got in office. I promise you, you get a chance. Check it out.
There was, but
I'm saying,
the
you
first
remember the
person,
movie JD's Revenge? When you get a chance, look it up. Right? It was filmed in 1974 in New Orleans about this guy that had a spiritual awakening where an old spirit from 20 years before overtook his body to try to solve a mystery that happened to his sister that died. But when he went to the doctor because of his headache, mind you, this movie was filmed in 1973. The doctor said, "Hey man, the way you're acting right now, you just need to calm down. I'm going to prescribe some marijuana for you. Please look at the movie." He wrote a prescription for marijuana in 1973.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying?
So
So just please understand that it was still legal
marijuana.
in the 70s until Nixon got in office, honestly.
I mean, and it might have been happening for sure because people don't get it, but like it's never been totally illegal in the sense that the government has always had something going on.
But just think about it. They never gave you opiates back then. They never gave you a pill that has a side effect that you need another pill for that has a side effect for another pill that has a side effect.
It's crazy.
That you got to take pills for all the side effects.
Yeah.
Before it was just smoke this. And you'll be okay.
Exactly.
Or drink a tea of this, and you'll be okay. Or cook it in your food, and you'll be okay. It wasn't, you're going to get this to help you that's going to make you addicted to something else that's going to break down your liver, kidney, and bladder. So we got to give you this to try to rebuild your liver, kidney, bladder while giving you this to take.
Because it became a business.
Death has always been a business. Life has always been a tragedy.
True.
No, I like this. This
Death is definitely a business.
Yo, Bill, where
death
you come
is-
up with all these quotes, bro?
Death is tell us.
I don't know. It's diabolically true that the world is in a conundrum of a fuck bucket.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? They keep telling you you're going to kick the bucket, but you should just say fuck it.
Fuck the bucket.
Fuck the bucket. Don't kick the bucket. Fuck the bucket. Fuck the bucket with mushroom drawers on.
One love.
You got to coordinate. Coordinate, people. Avoid the
mushroom
boomerang.
drawers.
Coordinate.
I think that's kind of the best answer right now is the combination of cannabis and mushrooms, but like keeping the psychedelics in those realms, and you can really see things synergize in a good way.
I mean, just think about it. Everyone's
like
using
once
an
you get outside
iPhone
of that
now
realm, it gets a
because
little bit-
Steve Jobs
That's when it's not so fun anymore.
took acid, right?
Was that?
Steve Jobs. Everyone's using an iPhone because he took acid, laid on the grass, and came up with this whole thing that we're using on the iPhone. So my thing is this, though, right?
I mean, the DNA was,
Well,
discovered
you
while
could
on
go
acid. So I mean,
you could
it
go
is
that
literally-
far with it, but with me personally,
100%
my thing is
during
this,
the
though,
shower.
right? Make sure that you have a mind like a Steve Jobs that doesn't go off into the simplistic shit of trying to hurt yourself or the fact that you don't like yourself. You get to see everything that is wrong with yourself because that's what acid will do for you. So personally, you got to have a strong mind for the things that you do. Don't smoke marijuana if you already programmed yourself to believe it's going to make you paranoid, schizophrenic, and all the other shit. Don't take acid if you feel like it's going to take over you and you're not going to be in control. Because the thing about the mind is that whatever you program within your mind, that's exactly what you're going to believe. That's exactly how you're going to live. Mm-hmm. So don't do anything with a prerequisite of it being fucked up and expect it to turn out good.
Because it's not.
At all.
Yeah, and that's one of those things where I think everybody who's...
Use responsibly.
Who's dabbled in all those kind of things, and I'm sure being on the road, you guys are seeing all sorts of crazy shit.
I started out as a breakdancer. You don't understand. How the hell you think we came up with all those moves? Acid. The hell you think? We just looked at the wall. Let's run up that motherfucker. Like, what? How you gonna run up the wall? Come on, just run up the wall. Okay, then what do we do when we run up the wall? Flip over. Okay, cool. One person break an arm, another person break a leg. Breakdancing. Okay, we gonna do some breakdancing now. We high on acid. We don't know what the fuck we doing. You know what I mean? Why you think they called Slick Rick a crazy bag of angel dust? Between angel dust and acid is where breakdancing came from, man. So please understand, if you have an exquisite mind that knows how to explore the greater side of yourself, then all those other attributes are good for you. But if you are a weakling and don't know who you are and how to exist within this life by knowing how everything moves on another level outside of the naked eye, then don't fuck with acid.
So speaking of breakdancing, you were originally a b-boy for the Ghetto Boys before you ever rapped.
And that is Whiplash asking me a question about b-boying, so you know he definitely did not breakdance. But his name is Whiplash. Please comprehend. I apologize, sir. Please continue.
You were originally a b-boy for the Ghetto Boys, right?
No, I'm originally a b-boy from Brooklyn. Ghetto Boys don't have no b-boys, yo. Ready Red, Trenton, New Jersey. Bushwick Bill, Bushwick, Brooklyn. So yes, the East Coast did help out with the Southern rap.
Yeah, I remember.
Okay, cool.
Ready Red.
DJ Ready Red created the Ghetto Boy sound. Trenton, New Jersey. Trenton makes the world takes.
Mm-hmm. And what is it like as far as cannabis goes? Where's like the places that you?
Me and Red will smoke a blunt, man, and we'll listen to the music and be like, we need a sound right there. Why, Bill? Think about it. It's going why don't we have an hey, because we were building size ain't shit. I'm like, I need an He's like, there ain't no tenants in music. I'm like, we can right now, play it. Look. I'm like, okay, this is what we're going to do. We're going to turn on the TV and we're going to wait for the Oscar Madison, Felix Unger show, The Odd Couples. He's like, Bill, what does The Odd Couple have to do with Pieces of a Dream? Pick up the pieces. I'm like, we're going to play both of them together and we're going to show the world sizing shit. That's where the beat comes from. And that's all on smoking a blunt and drinking a 40 ounce of OE. Most of our music was done that way. Me and Red start early in the morning. 40 ounce and a blunt. All the music you heard from Ghetto Boys in the 80s and 90s, that's what it was. A blunt and a 40 ounce. Kept it old school.
So on the years on the road, so for instance, I lived in Amsterdam for 21 years and I moved around Europe a lot, but I was in Amsterdam most of the time. You play any of those big festivals like I'm trying to think of a few of them, like
Tomorrowland?
Tomorrowland, or in those, they're kind of big kind of.
I was at a couple of them, but the one they brought to Atlanta, I didn't do it overseas.
You didn't do the one in. You do any like big European festivals like that? Or?
I got some coming up now.
I mean,
because I changed my music around. I decided to go all the way back hip hop. Like I'm taking EDM and mashing it up with hip hop and reggae, which is how hip hop started anyway. See, a lot of things people don't understand is that being Jamaican, we have a thing called a sound man clash, where it don't matter how good you think your system is, I'm going to stay home tomorrow and build the biggest speakers with the biggest tweeters, and then we going to stand at opposite end of the block, and when I turn on my music, if I can still hear your music, then you won. Yeah. That's where DJing came from in hip-hop, and what y'all call rapping, we call chatting. We would get up on the microphone and chat to the rhythm and big up the DJ. So the whole thing was about why my DJ is better than your DJ.
Yeah, I remember.
And it's called Dance Hall Battles. That's where rap came from. It started off from talking about why my DJ is good to MCs feeling like they're better than their DJs. Where that came from, I don't know. Because without the music, you acapella like a motherfucker.
Yeah, real spit. Nobody got nothing to dance to.
And like a lot of music genres, it's like then people start to produce a little bit more like their own stuff. Like so original, like of course in hip hop it was a lot of like there was like nobody was really putting records out. There was a lot going around.
No, it was actually actually from the way it happened, right? Is that the Jamaicans would throw block parties, right? Whether it was in the Bronx, Queens, Manhattan, or Brooklyn, right? They'll throw block parties. Right? And in those block parties, the DJ would catch a rhythm, which is what he calls a dub plate. That's why dubstep and all these words are being used. He'll catch a rhythm, and then you'd have to chat over that rhythm. Then he'll bring the rhythm back so that you could be able to chat as long as you wanted to.
Right.
You know what I mean? Then he would add extra sounds like and all these sirens of bombs dropping. All this stuff that people act like is so new in hip-hop, I was raised around. Yeah. I mean, I'm like, damn, y'all just now embracing my culture that started hip-hop? Wow.
Yeah, right now music's in a ridiculous, weird zone.
Music is in a coma.
Where I'm like just looking at it like I'm like in shock. I don't pay attention too much to.
Music is in a coma. And when the Amigos could say they're the greatest rappers of all time and read out of the Cat in the Hat and make it sound like a platinum song they just did, God bless you, High Minister.
Damn.
Yeah,
Now somebody said it. Damn.
There's a lot of medias like that.
Come on, man. No, honestly, address that situation.
Well,
the man got on YouTube and read from the Cat in the Hat like all of his platinum raps. Literally.
This is true.
I'm like, damn. Hold up, people.
Yeah.
So you mean to tell me we all listening to Kindergarten just telling us they're the greatest rappers? Damn it.
Right. Well.
Fuck.
I mean,
if I'd have known I'd never graduated past the 5th grade if I knew I could make a living off that shit, man. Fuck, man.
A lot of genres are literally like running out of ideas. Like the movie industry is totally there.
It's not that. Some kids was just born without Simulac.
Like the movie.
And some kids are born with Simulac. And the ones that were breastfed are the ones that are the GOAT, the greatest rappers of all time.
I've seen like a kind of slide where it's like the movies seem like they've given up. Like it's like that side I don't even try to like. Occasionally I look and I think maybe something good's gonna happen, but in a weird way it seems like that whole medium's kind of dead.
Yeah, everything's a remake.
It's like remake.
Oh, yeah, but you know what though?
They're almost to the remake of the remakes.
No, but hold up,
they're almost there. They're getting there.
But this is what you have to understand about Hollywood. Anything that was done in the 1920s, 30s, 40s was actually redone in the 50s and 60s, and that was redone in the 70s and 80s. There isn't. Put it this way: the Book of Ecclesiastes said there's nothing new under the sun, and that goes for everything. Yeah, for sure. You just probably wasn't alive when it was done before, so to you it's new. You know what I'm saying? It's new to you, but there's nothing new under the sun. Now, I mean, if a motherfucker, we walk outside right now and see somebody jump over a barricade and slap the fuck out of somebody, please believe that was happening. That happened in life already. Yeah, somewhere on this planet. You know what I'm saying?
No, of course, and that's the. That's the thing that's happening in cannabis also real fast too, where like we're up to 46 states that are medical right now. So it's like getting to the point where you're like,
yeah, but they're in 46 states and they're still arresting people after they say that it's legal. It's a debauchery. You know what I mean? It's like going to a doctor for a surgery and get botched. You know what I mean? How you going to tell me it's legal in one sense and then find a loophole that makes it illegal again? It's like, come on, man, make up your mind. Either I can or you're going to bust me. Let me know. Fuck.
Hell yeah, break it down. Shit, either yes or no.
Right, either I can or you're going to bust me because I'm a smart cannabis regardless.
But I lived in that for 21 years in Holland. Where I was like, when I got there in 89, I thought...
You need to create a new Holland.
Well, I went there in 89, and I kind of did in my mind.
Can you just get land in the middle of somewhere and we do the opposite of David Koresh? When they show up, we just hand them weed. It's the kind bud.
Hell yeah.
This is the land of Holland. It's holy ground. Please proceed with your shoes off. Step on the hemp and get highly lifted.
I think it's like the opposite when you're there, and I was just there like a couple days ago, and for the first time in 7 years, and I was like, okay, this is definitely not where I want to be now. Like it was back in the
day.
Yeah, in the 90s, it was the place. I was like, oh, this is the spot. Big festivals, nice vibe. You know what I mean? It was a good spot to be. Nowadays, it's like, you just like feel like you can. It's first thing I saw when they opened the gate at the door of the plane was a Starbucks. I was like, oh my god! It's like already here. Like it's as you walk off the plane. I was like, oh shit! So it's done. You know,
Yeah,
I mean, that's it.
Game over.
You can move on to the next city. Barcelona didn't have a Starbucks.
Just think about the name.
They didn't have no Starbucks.
No, just think about it. Barcelona. You know what I mean? Where else can you go to a bar and feel so lonely?
You're a clown, bro.
That Barcelona.
The aroma in Barcelona was highly cannabis induced. Highly.
No, it is crazy down there how it has changed. We have a friend who's a sponsor with Treasure.
What truly is a sponsor's job, though? Because I think sponsors be losing their way sometimes. They don't really realize what their job is. So can you break it down for me?
I can. I mean, sponsors can help in all different ways. So this sponsor, Treasure, he owns a shop in Barcelona, so we could hang out at his shop every day and smoke weed and buy weed.
So he sponsors the good time.
Yeah, so he's done. Like
basically, he's the party favorite guy.
That's
not a sponsor. He's a party favorite.
Yeah.
The Treasure PD and all the crew down there.
Okay.
You don't have your mic. You can't talk now. Sorry.
So the sponsor enhances the situation.
Huh?
So they help organize everything.
He can if you're in Barcelona. He's a physical place,
Yeah.
so he can't like go on the road and do anything for you, except if you're in Barcelona.
Okay, cool. So now you know sponsors normally stay in one place and might not be where you are at all times.
Exactly. So some people will be like, "Why would you have a sponsor there?" But we just came back from there and we cashed in all of our sponsorship.
The same reason why people that drive NASCAR got stickers on their cars when they go around in a circle for 5 minutes. I mean, it's okay.
Exactly.
I don't blame him. Road runner gets dizzy every now and then. Shit.
Yeah, you gotta
You know
do it.
what I mean?
You gotta do it.
I'm just looking for the rest of my friends from the Rice Krispie treats. I haven't seen Snap, Crackle, and Pop in a minute, dog.
See, what
real.
motherfuckers are. I ain't saying
You know what I
right.
mean?
I don't know if I'd have them sponsor me nowadays, but maybe back in the day. When I was a kid, I would have done
don't worry
all
about
the
it.
cereals. I would love it, but
No.
nowadays-
Between the Rice Krispies and the Keebler Elves, those are my people. So if you think they ain't got my back, you better watch out, buddy.
Damn.
You know what I'm saying?
This is a Rice Krispie treat.
Yep, and the Keebler Elves, you better watch out,
Damn.
dog. Every time you think it's a tree, there's a hole in it with a gun. Nigga, watch out. Watch out.
There, boy.
Watch out, dog. You think Bushwick by himself. Watch out for the Keebler Elves and the Rice Krispie treats. Because when you think you're snapping, it's going to crackle and pop on your ass, for real.
I need a Rice Krispie treat right now, like an infused one.
Yeah, I don't have.
That is called an
I have some
edible.
chocolate.
Edible.
somewhere. You want
That
some
is called an edible.
but not,
Edible arrangement.
That's a non-infused chocolate, unfortunately. Which it's weird. I like bought it and carried it everywhere, and just ended up carrying it back. I was like, what?
Another thing that I noticed about cannabis.
It didn't melt. It was good.
Isn't cannabis effective for people with cancer?
Of course,
Because it helps create an appetite for them. Other than that, they won't eat, right?
that's one of the things, and actually they found that it creates apoptosis, where it would the cells would stop growing, possibly not for all, but some people. The whole thing with cancer, I think, is the fact that people have all different types. And then there are all different types of people.
Yeah.
But anything skin related shit, yeah, it works really good. Like people who have literally my wife, if she had a little skin tag or something like that, she put it on and it would actually make it disappear and stuff like that.
Just the oil?
Yep, just nice good oil. And THC fine. Because a lot of people think CBD oil all the time, and a lot of the CBD oil you get is kind of bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
Be like oil.
It's like any other business. People
It's
try
like
to get
oil
in it to
in
ruin
oil.
it just for profit.
It's like an oil in oil, which is not what you want. You want
Like, motherfuckers look with some CBD, you want some real shit.
you'd rather have it be all dark. Well, you'd rather have it be all dark and look nasty than be all clear and look all pretty. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If it's all clear, it's probably not going to work. So you're better off in a way getting something that's dirty looking, but actually it's just it, especially if you know the guy. Like if you know somebody who's growing weed, then I don't know how you feel. Know somebody.
What was that?
I said if you knew somebody who's growing weed magically, and you got some leaves, or you got some like the small buds, and you use that, then you know it's going to work real good because it's going to be high quality THC,
Right.
and possibly a little CBD. But that'll work too, you know. People think CBD all the time. CBD. I think in the long run, the most medicinal is a little bit of THC and a little bit of CBD and a lot of THC. Yeah, that's what you want.
You know, I'll tell you my take on CBD. I think the nation is crying for legalized marijuana. They want that THC. But since CBD has been federally legalized and the interstate commerce of CBD is now okay, I think this is people's desperate attempt to replace that high of smoking weed. Because, like, I've seen CBD products sold in Dallas. I've seen CBD joints, flower joints getting sold in Louisiana.
And smoke shops.
And
you can get that shit
shops
at
everywhere.
7-Eleven.
So my thing is like CBD is like the next closest legal thing to THC. So what I think is that when they legalize THC across the board, the demand for CBD is going to plummet because now people can get the real thing.
Well, I think what's going to happen actually is, in a way, I was thinking about the other day. I was like, you know what? CBD is going to clear the path in the sense that it's going to be so annoying because it's going to be people growing real nice. Because there's a bunch of people I know who are going to be doing just CBD, greenhouse, just CBD outdoor, but they're real good growers. And they're going to put things into the market, and people are going to go like, holy shit, is this? Because I've seen genetics that are 100% cannabis, looking. Even me, as a guy who grows weed, would walk around and go, holy shit, this looks like a nice field of nice weed. And then somebody else who doesn't know, to them it looks beautiful. It comes down, you can trim it and make it look even better. And then, so the amount of stuff that's going to be passed around as, sweet or weed or something or some other bullshit name, and just like in a can or in a bottle or in this or in that, it's going to be intense. And then there's no way to test it because you have 10,000 cans, and each can is going to be opened up, and they're going to have to open them up and test it. And
you think that new thing they're going to do to the new kids on the block
in these they're not going to do it.
Non-legal states? You think people are going to rip people off a CBD flower? They'll buy like $300 pound of CBD flower and be like, "Yo, I got some dank."
They have been for decades, right? For 100 years, since the beginning of time. They have been.
Because man, I'm kind of new to hemp, man. I'm kind of new to the whole CBD hemp thing, but it's kind of the way everyone's going, and I feel like in 2 or 3 years, there's not going to be any profit left in that either.
Well, there's going to be.
For the little guy,
it's going to be the quickest.
Little guys always around.
Little guy, cash grab ever, right? Because everyone's going for it. Everyone's talking millions. No one's talking thousands anymore. Everything's millions, or hundreds of millions, or tens of hundreds of millions. But nobody's got a bank account with like $80 in it or something. It's like, you're like, so how much you got in your account? You're like $169.
Damn.
And you're going to take a check for $1 million after you make this one phone call? You're like, that's not going to happen.
Right. Where are they offing all their CBD to? Because a lot of people are trying to break it down and white label it and make tinctures, make salves, package the flower. They're trying to do the white labeling thing
that's gonna happen,
as opposed to wholesale. But who's actually, what percentage of CBD producers are actually making high profits, high margins, kind of like you're talking about?
Well, there's going to be a short burst here and there, and there's going to be all the people who are trying to sell all the products that they make are, of course, going to have to. That's going to be the garages full of fucking desire, and look at all these things, look at all the profit, and they're calculating, and they're going to do it, and then they try, and then they go into like, I've only sold 3 cases.
So what's your take? Is it a good idea to do a hemp farm? Is it a good idea to try to blow up 10 acres right now, or would you say to avoid that?
No, right now it's a good time, but at the same time, you also got to know that you're going into a free. Right now, we're going literally at the tippity top, going into a free fall, almost not quite there, but maybe this year. Because if this year, imagine if we get hit by a gigantic storm, that everybody's fucked, and all those millions and billions go down the drain. Who knows? Or we have a bumper crop, and everybody fucking kills it, and there's just like no fucking.
Excuse me. Can you repeat that part about the gigantic storm again?
What if we get hit by a fucking gigantic storm?
But we have. Just think about it. We've been hit emotionally and by a tremendous storm of people not giving a fuck about what's real. See, when people start doing things for American greed, doing things for profit instead of for who it could benefit, that's when it's fuckery. Because CBD is supposed to be a benefiting thing to the person who has ailments, to someone who watches their child suffer from epileptic attack from the time it was born up until the time they gave one little piece of CBD and the kid could function now. The child could actually live a decent life. See, when people get profit out of the way and put benefit in front, that's when it's real. But don't expect all CBD to be real, just like believing that all medicine is not a placebo.
Yeah, well, that's the biggest problem is that everyone's going CBD crazy, and there's CBD in every supermarket.
And everybody does not wake up in 24 hours and become a scientist.
Well, the other big problem right now is that truckers and guys like that are buying all that CBD shit because they're like, driving along. Oh, I'll stop here. Oh, look, CBD this. Wow, buy it, drink it. And then they test for a fucking thing and they go hot because the people who made the CBD now are going to be growing fire and putting that into the product. And people are going to be smoking it and people are doing this. And that shit's going to be like, 0.6 point, because it's going to get through. It's not going to be 0.3. It's going to be 0.6, 0.9. But I guess 0.9, that's almost 1%. When you get 1%, you're getting fucking hair samples. You're getting all sorts of shit. So everyone's getting busted. Like the whole world's going to get busted in about 6 months. You know what I mean? It's like it's just TikToking right now because everybody's taking and accumulating.
It's got to be about the health benefits.
You're going to get it.
They go back to that. Hot. The whole purpose of cannabis stores and marijuana was because of the whole purpose of making it a business was because of people with AIDS, people with AIDS, people with cancer, right? It's like that's what it was about. It was about the health benefits. I just want to know, how did we lose our way and only could see profit instead of benefits?
Oh, that was a long time ago. I mean, the problem is that was.
I'm talking about just every. It's like with every generation. It's like we all see problems that we point out, and we all see things that we agree to disagree with. Then we also see things that we directly just straight up disagree with, and just feel like this is just wrong. And to me, it's wrong to know that marijuana has healing benefits, but instead people are only looking at it for a profit. And if you're looking at it for the helping of people, then the profit will come anyway.
Yeah,
see what I'm saying? Because you feel good as a person and you could take care of yourself, but you're not in it just for the business. Once you're in it just for the money, there is no love for the client. There's no love for anyone. That means you will serve them bullshit to fuck them off.
Well, that's,
you know what I mean? So to me, people should not get into the cannabis business of medical marijuana just to make a profit when it really started out to help people. If you want to make a profit, go back the old-fashioned way. If you're trying to help people, legalize it.
Oh, yeah. It would be much easier if it was legalized officially. And the biggest problem right now is that the lack of places that understand the whole growing side.
No, but look at the abuse that they're seeing right now.
They want you to buy it, and I don't want people. I don't want to have to buy it. No, but
what if this was a test experiment? What if this was a test experiment where we'll give them a certain legality way with marijuana to see how true they're going to be to this healing benefit of it? Or is it just going to turn into another drug wars over medical marijuana stores and who got the most in the neighborhood? See, to me, the whole thing is like an experiment right now. Because if they legalize it, does that mean people still going to stop dying?
Well, I mean, right now it's kind of weird because in the places that got legal, it actually doesn't get really like super peaked out because most people already smoke weed. Like, most places aren't really like, no one's getting too excited in like, in the states that are popping off, like Oklahoma, they get excited right now because they're freaking out, but at the same time, they're not. Because I went to see the grow shops there, and I was like, it looks fucking like a normal established grow shop. Everybody's chill. People were smoking outside, and I was just like, oh, this is all right. This is like weird because I'm in Oklahoma. Because normally you think, no way. And people were pulling up and bringing clones because there was a little meet and greet kind of weird thing. And I was like,
I was just tripping because I was just in Detroit, and we drove down to Flint, and they had this this bar type thing, and they had vendors there, like bud vendors, and we just went in there and smoking, and they had like at least like 10 vendors in there, dude. I don't know if they do that shit every weekend or when they do it, but it was in Flint, Michigan, and I was tripping out because I was like, what the hell? I'm from Cali, you know what I'm saying? I see how they get it in Vegas and things,
sure,
and out here in Colorado and everything, but Detroit,
Yeah.
Like what the hell? Like it was super illegal out there. They'll take you to jail like you selling some crack out there if you have some weed in Detroit.
It's weird too because the places that are starting to become normal and it's like even airports where you're like, okay, this is interesting. Like yesterday, I was in Miami. If you're there, you go by the fucking TGI Fridays, and they have a little bar that you can smoke at because it goes open to air.
Wow.
I just went in there with my vape pen, and it was nice and super. Every bartender knew within 30 seconds, right? And they were just like on me, but not on me. They were just like walked by and they just said, "Yeah, you're good," And I was like, "All right, that's fucking prime." So we all got high.
I mean,
at the airport. It was actually very sweet.
Why the difference they got how they got cigarettes legal and then weed is
shout out to Steph
illegal. Like you can just go buy a cigarette and smoke it anywhere outside or whatever. You know what I'm saying? But and I'd rather smell weed smoke than cigarette smoke.
Damn right.
Any day. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, I think if they replaced the cigarettes with bud. Period, like all up in 7-Eleven and everywhere, just put the bud instead of the cigarette. We might live long. This race might live long.
Well, that's one of the benefits of right now with all the hemp stuff that's going on is that people are going to cover every base. Like there'll definitely be all 100% hemp cigarettes. There'll be 100% hemp soap. There'll be everything you need down the line, which will come down because people actually are going to end up growing. Backing up, just like Oregon grew 6 years worth of weed in 1 year this year, so Oregon is just fucked. Way too much weed. So like
that's crazy.
We got 6 years worth of weed. You know what I mean? And they can't export it because they're trying to go to California, just like at least export to NorCal. But then NorCal's already loaded too. So
send it to Vegas. I'm out there. We want some bud out there in Vegas. We'll take it. If y'all don't got no bud out here, if y'all got too much bud, any state or city or anybody with too much bud, come and hang out with us in Vegas. We'll smoke all that shit. Sell it and smoke the shit,
Yeah, it's been fucking weird because the weed prices when I moved to Holland, it was like super expensive here. It was like $6,000 a pound or something stupid, $5,400 or something. I left in '89, so I could sell weed for like $6,000. I live down in South Florida, and so it was like, oh, okay, this is like fucking gold, right? So then I moved to Holland and started working there and growing weed and stuff, and their weed was worthless. You know what I mean? It was like, so I was like, I was getting $2,000 a pound or something stupid like that. So it was like, or it was like, 6,000. A little more, maybe like $3,000 for a kilo or something like that. So it's 2 pounds, 2 pounds. So you start breaking that down, and you're like, it's not good at all. You're like, this is terrible.
When you in, because I think when I was in Germany or whatever, Sweden.
Sweden's difficult.
When they smoke bud,
they mix it with tobacco.
Yeah, like in Jamaica, they do the same thing.
Yeah. Why would they? Why do they do that?
That's nicotine right there, man. He'll poison you with a joint.
Keep burning, so they decided to do that.
To keep it burning?
Because it'll just keep going out.
Right.
So that's what they would do. They would mash it up together and smoke it so they keep burning. Well, really, all they had to do is put dry weed with moist weed, get the same reaction. But they just decided to use, cigarettes. You'll see them break it off and put it all in the weed.
I think that's what good reason.
All the South and all the islands. When I was down there in St. Croix recently, it's like when we went in to hang out at this one shop that was selling it, and they sell it in these little rolls. They have these little. And people ran, and literally it's like selling rollies because guys are just running in, throwing down change, telling some long story, and grabbing some fucking tobacco, crushing it up, mixing it with their weeds outside somewhere on the on the porch or whatever. And it's just like, oh shit! So everybody mixes it, So crazy. So you can't really smoke with it. That's the first thing I do is like whenever I go to these places, it's like everyone offers you shit, and it's like, nah, I have to have my own weed, because it's impossible to trust anything. It's all it's like nobody's, and everyone says a little bit of tobacco, and you're like, that doesn't
get on my ass.
That does not.
So, Spice, talking about blunts and rolling stuff, I've heard rumors that you were the one that taught Tupac how to roll blunts. You know, what's your take on that? Do you teach Tupac how to roll blunts? What a blunt
you know
was?
what? I didn't teach him, you know what I'm saying? But we always talked about our little blunt roller strategies and shit, you know what I'm saying? We always discussed that shit.
Yeah.
You know, sometimes it'll be a hole poked in it, and we'll try to figure out how to, you know, fix the hole, and then we get into a long conversation on how to roll the shit, you know. So like when he was doing an interview and he was talking about how to roll, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, you ain't gotta use all that spit and shit. You know what I'm saying? Just lick the shit one time, you know how to roll it, you know what I'm saying? I mean, you know, it's sir, you got some art to that shit, you know what I'm saying? We're gonna have a contest. We're gonna have some contests. I mean, because I done seen, you know, some serious shit. You know, I've seen blunts rolled up, shaped like AK-47s. I done seen, you know, like some, you know, I want to smoke some of that shit. So, you know, anybody listening who roll blunts like that, man, y'all holla, hit me up on my Instagram. It's the real Spice1. If you know how to roll a blunt shaped like an AK-47, know how to roll a blunt shaped like a car or whatever, you know, some real exotic blunt rollers, man, hit us up. You know what I'm saying? Because we gonna have a blunt rolling contest, and you know, the winner, you know, we gonna give him.
What was our boy's name?
So back in the day, it was just about rolling that fucking blunt straight.
Yeah,
you know, does this thing look like a cigarillo? That's it.
Yeah, you know, I seen the T. I seen, you know, the first thing I seen was the T. Then I seen the cross, and you know, but
yeah, those were old school fast. Tell the story about Tupac and the Bloody Blunt.
Oh yeah, you know. That's, you know, actually look for this my video I'm about to do called "I Want to Die High." You know, because that's what Pac told me when he got shot in the elevator. He said he wanted to die high because, you know, he rolled over and started rolling a blunt after he got shot in the elevator. You know what I'm saying? In New York, you know, if y'all remember the 5 times when the homie got shot up in that elevator, he actually rolled over and started rolling a blunt, and you know, bloody blunt. So now, you know, the new video called "I Want to Die High." Y'all look for that because I'm gonna reenact that whole scene in the video. So stay tuned.
You should spit a little sample of that. Give him a sneak peek of what's coming. Or are you gonna keep it under wraps?
Yeah, I gotta keep it under.
It's too low key right now.
Because, you know, I got the Platinum OG album, and then we got Forever 21. You know, we got 2 albums dropping, and that one is on Forever 21. So, and Platinum OG will be dropping first. So.
Who are some of those features on Platinum OG?
Man, everybody's on there, man. We even got, you know, we found songs with Pimp C. You know, we got Pimp C on there. We got Big Psych. You know, a lot of homies that's resting in peace right now. We got Noble, you know, all of the Outlaws on there. Like from Noble to Edie, Too Short is on there. Devin the Dude is on there. We wait for a verse from Corrupt. It's basically like this album is like a All Eyes on Me or like a Chronic. You know, you're gonna get that feel when you listen to it. Is exactly that. You know, that's what my ears are hearing. Mm-hmm. As far as even the mixes and how it's mixed down and everything, you know, you were swearing down. Dr. Dre did the shit. It's all clear. You know, everything is clear, mixed down and mastered real good. It's real life. It's live instruments played in there, guitar, certain keys and strings, chords and stuff are live, played in there live. You know, it's a real, you know, masterpiece. You know, it's something that we've been working on for a while. I think the fans, it'd be a real treat to all my fans.
I did hear a sneak peek, and it does sound like some of the lost tracks from the golden days of hip hop. Like, it sounds like something that came out of the Masters Vault from 1996. You know, like, it's got that classic touch. Like, Spice1 never lost the connection with the art. Like, a lot of musicians, they change so much over time in the wrong way, but Spice has kept so much of the right things pure in the right way, if that makes sense.
Yeah, all of that.
Stay true to
the
form.
You know, the way that the music is sounding today. You know, that's what the youngsters doing. That's their thing. You know, but if you looking for some original West Coast gangster hip hop, you know, if that's what you're looking for, then, you know, you got to go to the to the creators. You know what I'm saying? You can't listen on the radio to and try to hear some old school, hip hop, or hear something that's even anywhere equivalent. It's old school hip hop, but it don't sound old school.
Yeah, I mean, I think we're all like literally a year apart. I'm 69. You're like around 70 or something like that, or 71. What year are you born?
You're 69?
No, it's
I'm born in 66.
Okay, cool. I didn't do my homework at all. I don't do it. I'm the worst guy for interviews. Like, yeah, you're this. No, I knew you were born in Jamaica. That's about all I knew. So, where's he from? Jamaica. I was like, cool. And I already knew. I knew who you were anyway. So that was all I really didn't know. Where was he born? One question. And not to go to Jamaica right away, because I think we should still kind of stick to a slightly cannabis theme, just because it is one of those things where my fans get all like, some of them love hip hop, some of them don't love hip hop, but at the same time, we all appreciate it. But when it came to like you having to do like mixes, like or do things down, because you obviously go to Jamaica plenty, right? You still have family there, tons of it, I'm sure. Do you work at studios there at all, or are you kind of?
No, I haven't been to any studios out there.
You have your own studio, personal, or where do you work at? What's your sort of spot of choice for sound and things like that? Or you don't give a shit, or
really, I don't have a favorite place. Like on this new album that I'm working on, it's the whole thing to me is based on vibes. So it's called Checks and Balances, Moral Turpitude.
Right.
So it's like when I went to Sugar Hill Recordings, like it's one of the oldest studios in the world or whatever, but it's been around since the 1940s as a home studio. But was it 1939, something like that? But anyway, and I went in there. You know how you know when you walk into somewhere great, you could just feel the presence of all the greatness before you. Mm-hmm. It's like I went in there and all of a sudden I had like 4 songs done in 2 days. I'm talking about with arranging the musicians and the singers and everybody I wanted on the song. It's like I just picked all the right people that was already there in the studio and said, this is the song we're doing, and all of a sudden we just did it. 4 songs was done with that. No one clashing, complaining, nothing. Just I was like, okay, this is organic. So me, I'm like a gypsy when it comes to where I'm going to record at, because it's wherever the vibe takes me. You know what I mean? It's wherever the warmth of the blessing of being around people who truly love the art of music and the creative side of a human being. You know what I mean? It's like I can't go places where the studio just wants me there because of profit. You know what I mean? You got to truly love music, or else you're going to stifle my creativity.
Yeah, absolutely.
And where was your favorite place? Like, what was your favorite?
Digital Services, one of my favorite places, because we did a lot of Ghetto Boy album there. Ice Cube did B-sides and breaks or whatever at the same place. You know, Willie Nelson did the long red haired stranger. Dolly Parton did music there. ZZ Top, you know what I mean? So it's like when you walk in there, you see all these people that you know sold millions and millions of records, not just a million records. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And you're like, and you go in there and you leave that same part of the building that they recorded in, and your music sell millions. You're like, hey, I'm in good company. This time, Guilt by Association worked out great.
Did you ever play Red Rocks in Colorado?
We've only been, anytime Ghetto Boys came here, we was in Denver, somewhere in Denver. But I actually performed at Herman Hideaway before. You know what I mean? With another company.
What was the biggest show the Ghetto Boys ever did, like back in the day?
When we was on the Public Enemy tour, we did every Coliseum across the United States, including Madison Square Garden. I went back to my hometown, and I'm on stage in Madison Square Garden, and all my people in Brooklyn was there. So anybody was there to tell you when Bill stepped on stage, the whole place went crazy because I knew every single one of them motherfuckers.
I was gonna say, in the sense you probably got super like repetitive people, because I mean all those things are like same people going to every single one of them, and all the festivals up and down.
Not necessarily though. You'd be surprised, man. It's like when you're on tour, you meet interesting people, and really, whether things work out good or things work out cool is really up to you as an individual. You know what I'm saying? Because if you have peace, love vibes, that's what you're gonna get, peace and love vibes. But if you're ignorant and aggravated, then you're gonna rub people the wrong way. Things are gonna jump off. But generally, I say that the world is filled with decent people.
Is there certain cities in like Europe and places like that that you're like can't wait to go to? Like everyone that you like have friends here, or is it like certain cities you're plugged better in Europe than others?
It's like it's really your vibe. I mean, it's just like Japan, for instance, and like Hawaii. It's like I'm out there and I'm like, damn, somebody's got to smoke butt out here.
Somebody gotta smoke.
And you be surprised. All you gotta do is walk around and just you'll smell it somewhere, and you'll know exactly what you're smelling. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I always have that whenever I land somewhere, which is like got a weed reputation, whether it be Jamaica or Hawaii or Thailand or any place that and I always have some especially when I fly to those places is when you especially make sure you have something of your own, because you'll get, unless you have a hookup, if you have a hookup, which is always the way to do it, you should be taken care of when you get there by them, because almost 100% chance you're going to get fucked over as a tourist, because nowadays it's getting so touristic.
No, but it's not necessarily true though.
It's harder to find a good spot.
Because honestly, the way it is, I believe that weed smokers are a magnet to weed smokers. Personally, that's what I believe. Because I could be walking to the store asking about where can I get some cigarettes. They'd be like, "But you smoke weed?" You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So I really, it's like, I guess it's just,
you personally
I guess it's
are
different.
Definitely a weed magnet. I can tell you that just by looking at you.
Do anybody know what are the weed laws in Japan? Like
terrible
execution.
Like
no,
get
really
your finger
bad.
cut off, they cut your weed finger off.
No, but they'll
cut all your fingernails out.
Their detention is more like the worst type ever, because they make you work hard, and part of it is like them making you get up every morning at 5, marching with them, having them check the way you march, wearing their thing. It's like it's really humiliating and horrible, and like worse than just sitting rotting anywhere. You know what I mean? Because in a way, rotting, at least you can just deal with your own mind and sit there, but they don't let you deal with your own mind. That's the
they
part
like harass you
the whole time. So you're being harassed 24/7, so that you never get a break, which is like to break you. So you don't want that. Like that's like the worst place to get in trouble. My friend got caught with spray painting, and he had to do a little bit of time there, and it's like not good. So it's one of those things where you're like, yeah, I don't want to do that. You know what I mean? Don't spray paint in fucking Japan. That's not a good idea.
I kind of don't like Japan anymore.
And weed is really bad too, because I have a friend who's a DJ over there, and when I first got there, he wasn't there because it was his birthday, so he was out of town. And for 3 days, I had no weed. And on the third day, he like opened the door and threw a bag of weed at me and shut it and said, "Meet me at the club." And literally at that moment, like just the amount of smell from the weed was like I was getting like paranoid instantly. Like I was like, holy shit, this is fucking like way strong. You know what I mean? I was like, this is stronger than normal. So I put it away for a second, and then I started rolling a joint. And my girlfriend was in the shower. The weirdest. It was like one of the weirdest highs ever, because she was in the bathroom. I rolled a joint, and instead of being a smart person and waiting for her to come out of the shower and just blow into the fucking vent or something, right. I just smoked it. Right, I said, "Fuck it," smoked it, and I'm in a sealed room on the 54th floor in Tokyo, and those buildings are like they're gimbaled, so they go like 3 feet to each direction, 6 feet. They can move a lot. Yeah. So I'm so high that I noticed, because all the windows are steamed because she's taking a super long shower, and I'm smoking this joint, that the fucking building is swaying. And I'm like, holy shit. So I like laid down and fucking like was all high and was like spinning and like, holy shit, the building is, I fucked up, and it was weird. I never got that. And then because I'm in Japan, of course, and then I hear people talking in the hallways, and I'm like, they know I'm high, So I got just like super paranoid. So I was like, gotta get out of the room. And then she was coming out of the shower, and she was like, "What's up?" And I just like tried to clean it up with the vent, and it didn't work. It was like one of those situations where I was definitely higher than I'm normal because of being where I was. And then I walked out and tried to like be normal, and came back to the room, and nothing was wrong. So I was like, all right, I made it. But it was one of those things where
some shit out there,
now I had this like quarter ounce of weed, and 3
Don't
days
wanna
of smoking.
smoke it
You know what I
because,
mean? So I'm like, shit, I gotta
So
smoke
much fucking shit, yeah.
You
man.
gotta smoke too much weed. You have people just give you weed obviously on the road a lot.
Yeah.
You guys don't really buy
I'll
weed.
run into caretakers. You know what I'm saying?
At a certain point when you're like cruising around like that, a lot of times people just it's weird because people don't you know, especially like cannabis events, it's crazy because people come and you know.
But see, it's all cool though, because I'm too short for long conversations. I'll be looking for the smoke signals.
Yeah.
Well, how about traveling? You guys ever have any issues? Like anybody?
Well, I mean, the same thing, kind of like, you know, when I was in Japan, you know, I go out there and you know, the dude gave me some fire. You know what I'm saying? It was crazy because it was like this Jamaican dude that spoke Japanese. You know what I'm saying? And you know, he, you know, I got the bud from him or whatever. I go back to the room, you know, and you know, I turn on the shower because you know the water out there, they'll let that shit get hot as hell. Like it'll get boiling hot.
Yeah.
And I turned the shower on, boiling hot. Put the towel under the door, you know, and I had took a shower first, and then I, you know, got out and I rolled the blunt, you know. Even before I got dressed,
the other way around.
Before I even got dressed, I rolled the blunt.
Yeah, you have that waiting, nice.
And I'm sitting there, you know, and I'm like, you know, shit, you know, should I smoke it? You know, I got the window open, and the steam was going out the window, and you know, I'm like, should I smoke this shit? You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm like, fuck it, you know, I got this shit. I might as well fucking smoke it. You know what I'm saying? Quit fucking around. Fire the goddamn joint. So I fired it up and you know, hit it a few times or whatever. And I noticed that, you know, the water got really hot. And it was like a lot of steam coming out of it, like a whole lot of steam coming out. And it was like, I mean, so much that it looked like the room was on fire like this. So it's like steam coming out the window, like a lot, dude. Like a whole lot of steam.
Long
I'm sitting
joint.
You know, I'm blowing and I'm like, this kind of looked strange. I should cut the water off or something because this don't look right. And right before I can even, you know, get up and cut the water off, I hear them knocking on the door.
Oh, shit.
And so I'm like, oh, shit. You know what I'm saying? I look out the door.
That's the police.
And it's the security and the maid.
Yeah.
And you know, and I'm like, you know, shit, you know, and I open the door. I swear to God, man, I open the door like asshole naked. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, you know, what's up? You know what I'm saying? But the first thing I did, I lit a cigarette. Yeah. And I, you know, when I opened the door, I was like blowing the fuck out of the cigarette, like, yeah, hey, you know. What's up and shit? You know what I'm saying? And you know, he was like saying something in Japanese. I don't understand what he was saying, but I kind of cut the fucking water off.
Yeah.
Out of what he was saying and shit.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Probably it may have, because the thing is when you do steam helps for sure. It keeps the smell down. 100%.
Yeah.
But obviously, if you have so much that it makes it look like you have a fire, that might be a little bit overkill. But
I think they thought they might have thought the room was on fire. They might have thought that
because they smelled a little smoke and saw a lot of steam.
It was a lot of steam coming out that window, man.
The combo.
So you know, I turned the water off or whatever, and they walked away and they left. You know, I was still paranoid as hell. Yeah. So I put on my clothes and I was like, fuck it, I'm leaving the room. So I put my clothes on and started walking around and got lost and shit. Found my way.
I think it's also weird, isn't it? Like how when you smoke in different places, like when you think it's legal, you act a fool. And like in Holland, people just used to come there and act retarded. Like I was telling I was telling you earlier, like a lot of shows that I dealt with because I was known as the guy with the good weed over in Amsterdam for a lot of the bands because I would go see a lot of shows, take care of people, to give them weed, then they'd come into town for a couple of days. And like, what was your favorite towns to like just have a couple of days off? And do you ever have do you ever do that, or you just
where you mean out of the country or just
in Europe or something like that? Do you have any?
Yeah, like maybe Germany. I like Germany.
Like Berlin or something like that.
Yeah. Like
you played there a few times, or
yeah.
You have like. You have friends out there that are sort of steady, or
I talk to it every now and then.
Nice.
Yeah.
You play. So when you're there, you play solo things, or you play with groups, or
solo. Like I went out there. Like I've been out there like maybe 3 times. Mm-hmm. And I was tripping out. You know what I'm saying? Like I was like, okay, well. Zamba Jive was a European-based label, so, I know they was promoting the shit out of my music out there.
Yeah.
So, once I get out there, I didn't know until I got there. I'm looking at the promoter like, this is a big-ass venue, all of these people going to show up. Are we going to pack this venue? I'm even worried for the promoter, but it was, packed, like 3,000 people. Like,
that's awesome.
And surprisingly, they was Spice1. They was chanting Spice1. They was there. We rocked it. 3 times, man. I love going to Germany. Smoke big.
Yeah, Germany's one of those places that like has a lot of qualities about it when it comes to manufacturing and the way they do stuff, and there's things about it, and then there's just this sort of such contrast to the Dutch when I lived there. Not as far as their like attitude towards cannabis and attitudes towards sex, and they're real sex crazy too, but in a weird way. They're like more twisty nipple, weird kind of sort of kinky sex kind of people, but Dutch are just known to be more liberal, and same with the Swedes, the Norwegians, like all those countries are way more sex friendly than America. America's like a weird sex oppressed kind of place that needs help in all sorts of ways, right?
Yeah. What about Australia? You ever been there?
Yeah, I lived there for like a year. I liked it, but this is way back. This is in '88 when they had their bicentennial. Yeah. So there was a lot of money being pumped in when I moved there, and I thought it was like an awesome place. And then I saw just after the New Year's, the whole next 11 months, how it went downhill. You know what I mean? I was like, oh shit, they just don't give a shit now. They're like half the projects they didn't even finish. They started them, they made them look good enough like to cover the background, and like, okay, look at this is good. And then after this thing, they didn't have anything. So.
Like Olympics.
I liked Australia. Australia was cool. I ended up being out there for like 2 months.
What was that kangaroo story you had from Australia?
Oh, we hit a kangaroo. That wasn't good.
It's like hitting a person almost.
Yeah,
size-wise.
We hit him in the ass, and he spun around and shit when we was driving down. We was going like, I don't know. They do kilometers out there and shit. But when he jumped, I know we hit him in the ass, and his tail, he made him spin around and shit. And I had a blunt in my mouth. It was like a movie, man. It was funny as hell because that white shit that come from the the bag, it flew all in my face and shit, and I had to blunt my mouth. And it happened so fast, I still had to blunt my mouth, and it was like, what I'm saying? And I was sitting there with hella white powder and shit on my face, trying to figure out what the fuck just happened, and with the blunt, still burning and shit, and I'm like, and so I get out and I brush myself off and shit, and the fucking kangaroo was like laying right there. And I was like, damn, I'm feeling so fucked up, and that motherfucker was dead. It was dead as hell. And when we got actually got stuck in the outback for like maybe an hour or two and shit, But I had my trusty thug internet, my trusty thug watch. I got on the internet on my phone, and I think I hit some people up and told them that we stuck and to try to send something, AAA or something. I don't know what the hell they got out there, but they came.
Yeah.
And they actually got up out of there, but the car was totaled.
Damn.
I gave a shout out to the kangaroo when we got to the show.
All right, we got something out of the deal.
Yeah,
The down there they have those cages on the front of the cars. They hit so many kangaroos that they just put these cages over the
like
front.
Deer out there,
and they're like, whatever. We're just the way home with their like a lot of guys, especially in some areas, it's crazy. It's like there's tens of thousands at certain times of years in just one area, and like jumping everywhere. And guys driving and just like, yeah, whatever. What can we do? We just keep going straight, don't stop. Have these big cage things on the front and just sort of, But Australia's weird. It's kind of rough and strange. It's
outback.
I definitely like it when I liked it when I was there a lot, and I really wanted to go back in a way. But I know that it will just be like another place entirely.
I couldn't find no steakhouse out in there, motherfucker. We was stuck in the outback.
Damn.
How can you not find a steakhouse?
Well, I'm talking about we was really in the outback.
Could you find some like crocodile wrestlers out there? Any of the stereotypes? Did you see any of that? Or they're like, let's put some meat on the bobby.
No, that's made up. That's a made up thing.
No, it was like
That's a commercial.
I probably sounded like Chris Tucker or Eddie Murphy to them, and they was sounding like Crocodile Dundee to me.
100%. Yeah.
And that shit was fun and funny. So I mean, we enjoyed each other's company, man. It was like Australians was cool as hell. Dude. That shit was hella fun.
I can imagine. No, with you guys, must be interesting just to be moving around and being relevant in the sense that like right now things are kind of like what we were saying earlier. Like it's in a coma. It's not really like there's no real situation.
Hip hop is in a state of emergency. It's in the middle of a cardiac arrest, trying to wake up between a bad dream and a good explanation.
Damn it!
Yeah.
It's like once mumble rap kicked in, I really lost hope. I already lost hope at the beginning of it all, but like a couple of years even before that, I was already like thinking like, wow, nothing's really popping off. Mm-hmm. Then it got to the point where I was almost like, what? Like I started to get confused that people are getting so just not understanding even where basic beats come from, or the people, or the behind them, or what they, and people kind of just obviously it's way easy to steal shit now. Just like electronic wise on your phone, you can like do almost everything Photoshop wise for like no money, and just show somebody like who's like just paid a shitload of money for a phone. Like, oh, what the fuck, I can't even do that on my thing because I'm like, it's taking me years to make the thing move like that. Fuck, how do you do that? I was like, what do you mean? Like, how do you do that? It's so easy, And it's like just knowing that the shortcuts, and a lot of people aren't really. Some people are great at it, and some people aren't so great at it.
It's like they like that stuff is too hard with y'all OGs too. We gonna make it a little simpler, and we gonna cut y'all out. That's what it is right now. It's like a old and new argument. Youngsters. We don't respect the OGs, and the OGs is me basically. I don't know. I'm pretty sure Bushwick and all the rest of my homies feel the same way. If it's fuck us, then it's fuck y'all too. What I'm saying? But we'd let y'all give y'all some game if y'all need it. But
well, it's kind of weird because like with hip hop and with cannabis and with a lot of things, there's a lot of similarities. Just because at first there's like some core people that are really good and they do their job and they make a sort of flavor that everyone knows, and you're like, oh yeah, I like this, and then later there's like sublets of those because there's people who hang around, there's people who pick up the genetics, then they go start their genetics somewhere else and compete a little bit in their own, or go back to their own town or whatever. It's almost like when you bring back tracks, or you bring back like you're gonna come back with a bunch of new wax, and now you're the fucking best DJ in the fucking whole Long Island or whatever, because you just went to Europe and you picked up all this shit and you're into some weird European genre, and you're the man or the chick or whatever you are. You know what I mean? So like it's kind of like with the weed, because it's the same thing. Because with the weed,
the strand, right?
Yeah, you just have your like
strain.
Because I moved to Amsterdam when I was 19, realized young that there was like this whole system going on. Got a job at the Hash Museum at 20. Started figuring things out. Started my first shop or my first seed company at 22 or 23, and like kind of saw that, and I was like
So you're like a guru of this shit.
Kind of not a guru. Just kind of like trying to. I just was there at the right. I was there at the right time, just like you guys were at the right time in the sense of
OG
like right now. You guys.
Yeah, but talking about the right time, did we remind all of the cannabis listeners out there that we at Herman's Hideaway tonight?
Of course.
Herman's Hideaway.
Not as many times as last time, because that was like months ago when it didn't matter. But now that it matters,
yeah, it's like
not even saying it.
But also there's a second show March 23rd with these other two rappers.
Tell us about
Spice1 and Bushwick Bill.
Oh, those guys
headlining again.
Those two guys.
Yeah, man. That's going to be a good show. They're both going to be good shows.
Sweet.
And where's the second show going to be in?
Longmont.
See, you didn't say that, did you?
Just there.
Didn't say Longmont.
But Herman's Hideaway tonight, though, man. I want y'all coming to Herman's Hideaway, and then tomorrow we're going to be in Longmont. What time it is, yeah?
They're going to be in the house, right, Adam?
Tonight?
Yeah, buddy.
Hold up, people. Hold up. Wait.
I just got back from Europe last night.
This guy right here. You see the sticker? Yeah. Y'all see the sticker right here? Yeah. This guy is going to be at the show at Herman's Hideaway tonight. This guy right here. Okay? And we want to thank this guy. This guy right here. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? For coming to the show tonight at Herman's Hideaway. Even after coming all the way from Europe.
We gotta give it to Adam, man, because he's just so rad for my music, man. That after coming from Europe, hard ass fucking flight, body jet lagged or whatever, he's coming to Herman's Hideaway, man. So he can hang out with the Spice Boogie and the Bushwick Bill, man. It's like you gotta
definitely coming backstage.
You gotta thank Adam, man.
Course,
you gotta thank Adam because he is the Eve of the podcast, man. You please have to understand that. There is no Adam without the Eve, man. You know what I'm saying?
Damn it.
Cool.
The eve of the podcast.
That's right. He started early in the evening before you was at the morning, boy. But Herman's Hideaway. Adam's gonna be there with us. Adam from the podcast is gonna be there. Oh, you cannabis listeners, come meet the Adam man.
There you go.
So, we got a few more minutes before we got to go hit sound check at Herman's Hideaway.
That sounds good.
In Denver tonight.
Sound check.
Question though, do you have any questions you've been wanting to ask these guys?
I mean, I'm like I said before, I'm such a terrible interviewer because what I do is I just start and then I let things happen. So I'm not like setting things up. And in a way, I mean, we kind of talked before on the phone with him and with Spice.
Excuse me, I want to. Spice. What are you trying to say, Whiplash? You didn't like his interview?
No, he doesn't like.
It was great, man. It was great. I think you need to be a regular guest on the show, Bushwick.
Oh shit.
I actually didn't
So
know.
what are you saying? That you didn't like his format? He could have been more aggressive. He could have went out there and said, Spice.
Totally.
So what do you think about that? He could have said, what? He could have asked what did you call it? The provocative and the interesting question. You think that the Adam man did not do that. But I'm here to tell you, Mr. Whiplash, you might have had one too many Whiplashes, man, because me, the Spice, and the Adam man did a great interview, man.
That was a good one. No,
it was fucking awesome, dude. Don't you ever dare tell me what I don't know when I'm too short, sitting on the curb, swinging my knees, tell you what the fuck going on, dog. I'm knee high to a grasshopper on the curb telling you that the Adam Show, Bushwick Bill, Spice1, Mr. Whiplash was a great ass fucking show.
You're delusional. You are not too short. You're Bushwick Bill.
Well, too short is definitely not short because he's taller than Bushwick Bill.
Right.
So what are you trying to say? That because he's tall short, I'm not too short?
He's a tall short.
Yeah. Hold up, people. You know what I'm talking about? But like I was saying, I want to thank the Adam guy for letting us come to his show.
Yeah.
Because the podcast thing is really cool. But Mr. Whiplash had one too many whiplashes, so he wants more an intense interview. He wants to really get deep off into our aura and let you get to experience our experience of experience in Colorado. But guess what? The podcast and all that for me, I don't know about you, but I'm okay.
I'm pretty good. I think all I want you to say is we need a couple live on Adam Dunn shows from him or something. Come on, give us some Adam Dunn show.
Here, I got
sound bites. Give me some sound bites.
Yo, check this out. Yo. Colorado. Bushwick Bill in the building, yo. Chilling with Adam and he ain't done. And it's the podcast show. And I'm in the house now for sure. Bushwick Billions.
Now.
Nice. All right. And Spice, what you got?
Okay, what we see?
Soundbite.
Soundbite for the Adam Dunn show.
Just a quick soundbite.
Oh, the Spice1, Barcelona, Fetty, Chico, Shiznilty, Bay Area boss. Blah, blah. You know what I'm saying?
Dagnabbit.
We getting it in out here for the show, man. Y'all got to come get with us.
Herman's Hideaway, Wowzers.
Herman's Hideaway, the Adam Dunn Show. Tune into the Adam Dunn Show. If you don't tune into the Adam Dunn Show, man, you know what I'm saying? You don't know what the hell you're doing, man. You gotta come.
And you didn't come to the right pod, so you definitely didn't see the cast.
You don't know what it is, man. All the game is here. All the game, all the knowledge, you know what I'm saying? Everything you want to know about.
It's right here on the Adam Dunn Show.
Real G's and OGs and West Coast gangster rappers is here.
That's right, the Adam Dunn Show. And Adam is not done until he let y'all know for sure why his pod has to be casted. And the simple fact is, you need cannabis enhancement. Not just to smoke, but the knowledge of what it is that you're putting inside of your body. That's why Adam is not done telling you why you can bust if you know what cannabis is. This is the Adam Dunn Show, and we are yet to be finished.
Nice one. And of course, Johnny is going to give us like one sentence while you're here, I guess.
Yeah, I mean there wasn't much to say.
No, I know it's fine. It's easy. It's easy when we get it. We have a co-interviewer. We have co-interviewers, so that was good.
Yo, but we got to give a shout out to Weed and Life too. I mean, don't
life
just think that
Life and Weed.
No, Weed and Life. No, Weed and Life. Because first you got to have life to get the weed, so you got to have weed to get the life. There it is.
There it is. What up, Kevo?
And obviously Herman's Hideaway tonight, and that's at what time?
Doors at like 8.
Doors at 8.
Doors at 8. Yep, it's
Doors
gonna be
open at 8.
raging tonight.
All right, cool.
Whiplash, Life and Weed. Adam Dunn Show,
WHIP to
Herman's
the
Hideaway. Doors
Lash
open at 8.
So yeah, we definitely
in the house.
Yep.
What's up to Life and Weed? Weed and
we are
Life.
done here then.
What's up with Adam Dunn? The Dunn Adam Show? You know what I'm talking about?
Adam Show.
We are officially.
I have done the Adam Show.
Again.
Yes,
Adam is done,
Dunn
and the
still in
pods have
building.
been casted.
Yeah,
That's
Good night,
right.
ladies and gentlemen.
Herman's Hideaway, Life and Weed, Whiplash, you know what time it is. And you have just tuned in to an experience on the Adam Dunn Show. And
Yo,
it's not
we
done
out.
yet.
We out.
I have to do shout outs now, so I'll do shout outs after you guys leave, so that way we don't have to
Okay.
redo the shout outs.
Yeah.
That'll make no sense. But
Party people in place to be.
thanks, guys.
Stay tuned for more Adam Dunn
Thanks for
Show.
having us on the show, man.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Thanks, man.
Mr. Adam Dunn has been a privilege.
You gotta remember when you put your
Appreciate it.
hand down there, that eye isn't there. So when you do like this, you can't see that one.
Oh, the eye.
Didn't I
sorry.
tell you he had
Yeah,
one too many Whiplash?
forgot about
Yes.
that.
If you pay attention, you realize he picked the name for a purpose.
All right, guys. Thank you. Thanks, man. Thanks, Garrett.
That was awesome. Thank you.
Good show tonight.
This diabolical way of taking shit and twisting it.
What's that?
If you want to come, give me
That man
Yeah.
ate
Just
everything right and made the difference.
I'll send you a list. I'll send you a list anyway.
Party people in
These
place
guys
to
are
be.
right downtown, so I'm sure
But at the same token, I don't know why it's not a privilege.
we'll all be there. Peace out, guys.
Yo, party people in place to be.
So we'll do the shout outs now.
Yo, everybody, yo, Adam.
Yo,
We gotta take a staff picture.
uh-oh,
If you
picture.
don't mind, tell the other podcast people out there we gotta take a staff picture.
Staff picture.
Spice1 and then Adam Dunn staff.
All right, we're here. Staff picture real quick.
Right there.
What can you put on
Do
there?
it. Come on. Oh, cool.
Can't you put something on?
You got your phone.
Dun, 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 dun. Did you have your music? Put something on. Do you have anything you can allow to?
So everyone out there in the podcast world, we gotta get a staff picture with the Adam Dunn Show. Spice1 and Bushwick Bill, with the whole staff.
Practically every one of the top 40 records being played on every radio station in the United States is a communication to the children to take a trip, to come out, to groove. The psychedelic effects of every
Some call it marijuana, some call it sensibilia, some call it aspirin, and some people call it.
What happened to the people in the background? What?
Somebody got to take the picture.
Yeah, Whiplash can take the damn picture. He's not a staff member. The hell?
Let's get you in there. Hey, let's get you.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You got to get in there.
Yeah, y'all-
Come on. You got to see how Whiplash and Life and we do it, man. You know, we do you right. Come on. Get the staff picture. Everybody remember this historical moment. When I was invited to the Adam Dunn Show.
All right, 3, 2.
Go. Yo.
All right, 3, 2, 1, going. All right, and one more. 3, 2, 1. Perfect.
Here we go.
So we're still live. Exactly. But I only need one chair back, which makes it a little easier. All right. Much better light if you're gonna do it. If you're gonna do it in a room with a green screen, you're definitely not gonna do it on a big white background with no lights on it. So, on to the sponsors. It's a great show. I'm glad we had to get to dive in. We will do our sponsors now, and of course, out of the gate, we want to do our buddies that we were with in Barcelona at Trésor. I need to have. Here's your mic right now. Yeah. Here you go. And you and Kyle you can come over and sit down. Let's talk for 30 seconds in the interim of and in the beginning of our sponsorship. Let's talk a little bit about our trip. good trip, right?
Yeah,
Great trip. And it was, like we said on the way over, you live in Europe, so it's not as it's always interesting when you go to Europe in general. You always see the advances, and then you see the kind of places where they're still lacking.
Lack outlets. Yeah, but
they just have
they got cool stuff.
Their power is
coffee shops.
Their power is just fucked all around in a lot of places.
Zapped our mixer. So
our mixer.
Is it official?
Yes. Oh yeah, it's zapped.
Ooh.
It is zapped. Yeah, we tried to plug it in today. It did not work.
And that was really lame because when those things, I mean, most mixers these days are pretty universal, and the plugs are universal, and you can plug them in anywhere. Just need a converter. We had actually converters that were pretty decent, but they weren't like a step up, step down. I remember when I first moved there, it was nuts. I used to have to buy this gigantic magnetic, big giant box and plug it in and make sure the switches are in the right direction. And if you didn't, you'd fry everything and like plug your shit in, and it was like sometimes you have to use like 2 or 3 extendos to make it work because of the way that the design was. And it was like, oh my god. And nowadays most of those things just plug in, and all the converters are inside those little boxes. But anyway, blew out our mixer.
Yeah, so we've been using this handy H6 Zoom.
Luckily, I went out and bought a Zoom a while ago, and thought I was like ready to roll, and then just kind of left it in the box and didn't pay attention because we had the other thing, and it was like, oh well, I guess I just double bought all this stuff because I don't really need it.
Yeah.
Now we know how easy and portable and
it's nice for a travel rig for sure.
Sweet it is. We're like, oh. And now all of a sudden we got dissed by our home thing. Anyway, so besides that, let's talk about you. And because MTI was his first time, so everything was new.
Everything was new.
His first time ever in a non-Spanish speaking place out of the country.
Yep. First things I noticed, everything's small. Next thing I noticed, they only give you enough water to keep alive.
Kind of like the Adam Hunt show.
Right.
That's never been open. You can drink that.
Sweet.
That's Bushwick Bill's water, bro.
Bushwick Bill's water,
just
bro.
Didn't drink it.
You're blessed.
It was a good. That was a great interview.
That was awesome.
That was one of the more classic Adam Dunn show interviews, I think.
Absolutely.
As far as, tried to get some hemp action going. I had it for a moment. We were like riding it for like 30 seconds, and it was like, oh, this is gonna get not 30 seconds. I think we maybe went 6 minutes or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
So it's funny because when you looked at it, you're like a little timer on your thing. You're like, are you fucking kidding me right now? I thought we talked about a lot. Well, I guess we did because we must have bounced back and forth a lot of ideas. Because I do remember we did talk about. We started to touch on a few things, and one of them was like because I figured these guys are. One of the reasons I was kind of in the direction I was is that living in Europe, I could kind of see the weird like influence that hemp had that most people didn't really notice because I was so not obsessed, but at the same time, like I worked at the Hash Museum, then I had a hemp store, made hemp clothing, worked with every hemp company because of the way our store was. We were like the dumping ground for all the hemp shops coming or hemp companies trying to come up in the 90s, failing, give them to us. So we ended up with like shitloads of half-used products and this didn't, some of them good though, some soaps and some other products that were like awesome. To this day, I still, know those people and use their products, and they're like, they've been on the show before. They make hemp soaps and have their own farm and it's all farm to table and real soap, whereas most of the soap people buy these days is shit soap. You know what I mean? Like Dr. Bronner's is my go-to, always was.
Mm-hmm.
the thing about it is, it wasn't always hemp. Well, when I was a kid, it wasn't hemp, right? And so I remember one day of like 2001 maybe or something like that. I think it's somewhere around then. I was looking at the label because the whole thing about Dr. Bronner's is the label, right?
Yeah.
Not the whole thing. The soap's great. But the label is like the shit. Like the label's ridiculous. He used to say that you could get, you could use it to like brush your teeth, and you can use it to wash your clothes, and you can use it to clean anything you need to, literally. But it also said you could do birth control, right? So I was like, what?
What? Is that tea tree oil in there?
No, I was like, what? And so I couldn't really, because it didn't say like this is how it works. It just said you had to douche, blah blah blah, X amount of drops. So you're like, okay. Now you're like before, after. What's the fucking deal? What are we doing
While
here?
you're brushing your teeth.
While
You just do the same.
you have
At the same time, you know. I'm the
and
kind of
rubbing
fishy
your
guy.
belly and rubbing your belly.
Yes, sir.
Europe. No, I don't. Anyway, turns out it's the pH, right?
I can say it didn't work because you got Nick.
No, I don't. I never used it. I'm just saying it was there.
This is weird.
And it was the pH, right?
Yeah.
So we go straight to pH, man. We're gonna talk about pH, bro.
Okay.
We can have a whole show on pH. We can get Josh in here and talk about for like 45 minutes about pH. After we talk about Dr. Bronner's used as a douche to make you, I guess it was high in pH or something, where you're out of the zone, I believe. I'm not an expert at this point right now.
That's crazy.
But no, that was the concept.
Wow.
Yeah, it's weird, right?
Yeah.
It was always weird. I always
that's
thought that,
weird.
and anyway, that was on there, but then that was missing. So somebody edited that part out. Like, can be used for birth control. I was like, always like, how the fuck do you use soap? It was literally like one of those moments in time, because I was an adult trying to figure out a fucking label on a piece of soap. You know what I mean? I was just like, what is going on? I don't know if I was even an adult. I was 19 years old or something like that. So I was almost an adult, but I was basically trying to figure it out, and I finally figured it out. And there's a documentary on the grandfather of the Bronners, and he's fucking, like, he's the guy who did everything. So he's obviously a genius, but he's also manic, and like that's why the label's so awesome, because it's like you can tell it's all scatterbrained and crazy. And you're reading it like, oh my god, this is awesome. It's like Bukowski of soap labels or something. You know what I mean? You're like, this is fucking crazy shit. So pH, let's talk about pH, bro.
Let's do it.
Josh, you gotta come on the radio. This is it. Here's your chance.
Oh, Josh,
Come on, we gotta talk
it's
about
been
weed
like-
stuff. I need to talk about weed pH stuff. Come on, get on here.
Yeah, it's been solid
Just-
2 years since he's been on the mic.
Just come over here. That way I can add you to the list of the people on the show, even though it's only gonna have to be like 40 minutes or something like that, right? 50 minutes? About 50 minutes. It's not that hard. All right. He sucks. He's all
This is
mad.
way easier than the last time we tried.
Well, this is the thing. You have to trick him every time.
Yeah.
Welcome, Josh.
What's
La Plata
up?
Labs, Josh, in the house. He was on the sidelines just listening, not joining, but that's okay. We were loaded here, and now we aren't. So we have the perfect amount, except for we can, he's got to work the major system we have over there right now, so he's not allowed to move.
Yeah, that was pretty funny, the entire show.
That was really good stuff. It was gold.
Yeah.
I think so. That was one of the best shows as far as like the ridiculousness of all shows.
Oh man.
Like while we were talking about acid, I felt like I was on acid, of course. So that was kind of good. That was one of those moments where you're like, all right, we're creating the high just by being so weird and talking about it, which is perfect. So if you can do that as a group, it's pretty good. That's almost like performance on itself,
Absolutely.
It was like a moving performance kind of thing without it.
Definitely a performance, that's for damn sure.
Good show. So pH, vaginal
What do you know about pH? And
what's your thoughts?
No comment, honestly.
Actually, we were discussing always recently about feminization, and you are a fan. You're a guy who likes to do mixes and stuff, which I'm obviously not going to ask you your entire all your secrets on the air, but as far as feminizing and being stable and not fucking up, what's like is there any kind of different protocol that you think of that makes sense? It's more of a not, obviously when I say normal, I mean like 12-12 flowering, not like some crazy number, or is there any crazy number that works? Any temperature, let's say pH and temperature. We're on pH. Let's stick to pH. Is there any like super changes when you are like spraying them and they get all weird and twisted? Is that pH issues that involved, or is
a little bit? I mean, I pretty much just try and keep it as solid and stable as possible throughout everything. The littlest amount of stress, honestly, as possible too, because I'm just trying to find strains that are absolutely stable in every way and form,
right?
Even under stress, super forgiving. And then, I mean, just pretty much I have perfect pH, 5.8 to 6.4 on whatever I'm trying to do with them. And
what's the most noticeable thing when you're on the first, like, let's say you're rising up from the optimal, which I always feel like 6.2 is a good optimal like hit zone, you know what I mean? Like you're kind of there, but you're almost got to think of it like gunshots or something, like where you're like kind of like you want to stay in that zone, but you can move up and down, and you don't mind if you go up and down, because at 6 it's kind of like it's getting danger zone.
Yeah,
and it like
6.2, 6.4 is kind of my favorite, for everything. So
yeah, and then on the other, what about the other side? What's your highest, like, or what strains? Do you have any strains that do like that a little higher, or?
Well, old school Northern Lights, but really I haven't found too much.
What's that?
Dude, it liked 7.2, 7.4, even like 7.8 sometimes. I mean, I could grow it up into the 7s, and that'd be optimal for the performance and flavor. It was weird, but I haven't found that cut in probably 9 years now. So,
and for the most part, nothing really else is needed that much.
Yeah, no. Yeah, no.
It's funny when you find strains that people had that they really dialed it in 100%, because then you know if that's the case, then somebody did a little bit of work, or the thing is just so good that it survived so many attacks and abuses in so many ways, even though it was like shitty maybe grow pattern to begin with. It was something special within the plant itself. Like there's a lot of weird plants like that are mutants, and like literally they would never have survived in the wild, but because people took too much care of it and made it work, it definitely got to some level where it's actually worth it. Hardly. But being charged a lot of money and or just hoarded like crazy, and never.
And the ones that like the high ranges too. I mean, they're usually the picky strains that you have to baby and kind of take care of a lot more than everybody else, than all the other ones. So
yeah. So first we went to Barcelona. We were in the Treasure, our sponsor, of course.
You go somewhere else aside from Treasure?
But then we went to Spanibus and checked out the show. Saw Big Buddha.
Nice.
Saw Shiloh. Did some interviews with them. Those should be up and rolling in this week sometime, because we literally had to like run down, do the show next day, pretty much, kind of last night late.
Is it true High Times took over Spanibus now?
100% true.
Damn.
Next year is going to be 100%. It's going to be a totally different place.
Did they have any influence this year at all?
Nope.
Okay.
No, this is the truth. Danny Danko asked me for a ticket, so there you go. That's how much pull they had this year.
Damn. Was there a lot of discussion about it there? I'm sure there was.
There was a few people, but I was like, "What? Wait a minute, Danny Danko, didn't High Times buy fucking Spanibus?" And he's like, "Well, not yet." So I mean, not yet just means not check hasn't cleared yet, but pretty sure it's 100% happening. That's definitely not a rumor. Rumor. It's not a rumor. Tomorrow they'll be like, it is a rumor. No, it was one of those things where you just see that like the Spanish are. It's very like they definitely it hasn't really changed that much, but it has. They all smoke. Everyone smokes inside. Nobody pays attention. No one listens to the law there. It's like really weird. Like in Holland, no way. Everybody's super anal. It's like so. In a lot of places, nobody's smoking in Vegas and the big halls and vape pens, of course.
Yeah. No, and you still smell it walking around, but not.
I mean, I'm not saying nobody. Of course, people are, but nobody like groups of people, and there's no like haze in the air. There's no like oh shit. Everyone's doing it. It's none of that. It's just like in the corner hiding, and you might catch a glimpse if you're lucky.
Has it changed much from like the past 10 years?
Spannabis, it got bigger. Not really. No, it's kind of like the same thing. Because the thing is, they fuck. In my opinion, they don't build enough tension to tension to the actual competition of the weed part. Because like we entered it, and you always enter it, and when you get there, like we got there on the second day, we didn't go the first day because we were like just lame, right?
Working.
Were we working?
Yeah. Oh yeah, we're working the whole time.
Treasure.
Oh, we were here. We were on the show. That's why we didn't go. Mm-hmm. For you guys.
Yeah, man.
We dedicated ourselves because we knew that if we went to this thing, it would have turned into a big shit show and been a big mess. So instead of giving you a mess, we did not go to Spannabis.
Nope.
No. But on the second day when we went, we did get to see Big Booty. Like I said, we're going to post that one later. We did get to see Shiloh. We got to see a few more people. But it was really hard to move around because it's big. And it's like kind of like we were under to hang out at the THC's booth because that's obviously where people are at. And in a way, it was okay because you could there. It's almost like then you're fishing. It's like, hey, yo. They're coming in. One wasn't too bad. It was a little reunion. Saw a lot of cool people there. A lot of old friends. A lot of people knew where I'd be, so they were like waiting at the booth when I got there. It's cool.
Were you there last year too, or no?
No, I haven't been there in 7 years.
Oh wow! Oh wow!
Yeah, so that was where it was like, and then I didn't have a beard when I came there last time, of course, because I didn't have a beard then.
Now you can't not have a beard.
I just didn't have one. I think I did. It was one of those weird moments. Yeah, I think I had one, but I don't know. Might have been nothing.
Shit, KTI's got one going on now too.
KTI is rocking.
Amish KTI.
Yeah, it's
brother.
Yeah. No, you were representing. Everybody's like, damn, everybody's got beards in Colorado, don't they? It's like, I guess they do.
Beards, some flat brims, some plaid shirts.
Except for Josh. If we had Josh, it would have been all fucked up.
Gotta have that clean cut.
Yeah, it would have fucked us all up. So pH wise, on the high ends, we have any kind of amendments that you want to use, or just like general correction kind of things, or what?
I mean,
obviously CalMag's the go-to normal thing.
I mean that's mainly my main thing. But unless I really absolutely have to die to have the strain in my stable, then I usually try and just stay away from things that are just truly just not.
Yeah, staying within a certain range.
Yeah, exactly. I try and keep everything, because we're messing with so many different strains and just so many things. It's hard to actually cater to a specific one.
Yeah, I just think maybe down the road we're gonna run out of like. People are gonna see like we're not running out, but there's like gonna be like little zones that haven't been explored yet that are gonna be interesting, and those will be the ones that might be like. Oh, what happens when you do this? And then they actually get used to it. And all of a sudden they're like, shit, now they're putting out more CBG or they're doing whatever they're doing. Whatever.
Totally right.
Whatever could be interesting. And that's kind of where we'd like, of course, now people are going to get into CRISPR and fucking it's going to go so fast, so crisp. So crisp. No, it's going to go so fucking quick that people are going to, fuck up all sorts of shit real soon. I'm like, can't wait to see what happens now.
Yeah, and it would mainly just be time and just, being able to have access to just free time to be able to mess around with everything like on that kind of extent, So.
Well, also it's like the most important part is like what we have, the guys we have on the show already that are kind of cleaning up the genetics and doing stuff that makes sense, and then I mean, it'll be interesting. We'll see. Maybe somebody will come up with some crazy tetraploid weird plant that's fucking growing 8 branches.
The next 10, 15 years are going to be the craziest for genetics, because finally there's going to be real breeders and real geneticists coming into the game that will have time to, kind of cater to each little strain and figure out every little bit. I mean, that's kind of what we have to do to make the next level, right? I mean, everybody's kind of stuck on the same stuff right now. So it's kind of sad, but not too much scientific exploration right now going into it.
No, but at the same time, we may see some stuff get really, homogenized almost in a weird, less like more blocky. You know what I mean? Like more block kind of in the zone. Okay, we like these ones. They're in this zone. We have these ones that are in this zone. These ones are in this zone, and people are going to get real selective as far as like top 3 of each type. You know what I mean? And then we'll have 12 types and.
True.
Kind of a little stupid color wheel, and everybody's like, I'll take the blue and the pink, and people are fucking dumbed it down to like the blue dream times 12 of all the flavor zone. This is the most of this, this is the most that, this is the most this is the most that.
Yeah. No, that's kind of sad, but that's where we're going right now. I mean, it is.
In a way. I mean, it's one of those things that I don't know if people can maintain any of these things though. Because it is one of those things where things run into dead ends, and there's fucking disasters daily in all these breeding lines and stuff. As far as dead end kind of genetics that are gonna only last so long, and then they do get kind of tired in a way.
Yeah. I mean, nothing's really tried and true right now. That's for damn sure. Dude.
Yeah, I mean, so there'll be some, and there'll be other ones that are just like that's what that. And in the end, it'll be the ones that are the most popular, are the ones that actually can make it through all the fuck ups that all the people do, because most people fuck up a lot. So, so as long as you can survive most of the fuck ups.
The whole hype train.
But you and I were working together on a project that we've seen some super success and very, very healthy and. Knock on wood, everything good. So it's like one of those deals where you're like, okay, that's nice to see. Like everything's not, there's not, the whole thing I think is if you don't go off the rails out of the gate, you're fine. And that's kind of the key thing. Yeah. Like as long as you can put down healthy things, because if you put down a slightly healthy anything, you're fucked. You know what I mean? So it has to be all healthy, and you might get 1 or 2 duds, and that's it. Even out of tens of thousands of them, you'd be like, okay, that was good. Got two duds, or 3 duds, and then you're like, huh. At the end, you look at everything, and it's all pretty even and nice, and it's all doable. Oh, there's that noise. That noise
sounds like a compressor.
Yeah, it sounds like a back sealer.
That's his. It stops. It doesn't matter, bro. The show sucks. No one listens. All right, so pH, bro. So pH. What else? Any little natural things you know of? Of course, I should be answering these, but I'm not answering. But did we even do the shoutouts yet? Oh, dude, that's the problem. Okay, so now we have to mix it all up. Shoutouts, Jesus Christ.
Yeah. So
we only did Treasure. So Treasure, that's the thing. We just started talking about Treasure, and we get all sidetracked. So let's do the shoutouts. That's perfect, because then we'll have that done. And we'll do them in a nice, creative way, because we already did. We started them, and we didn't do any of them. Treasure, though, awesome place. It's the same thing. We just happened to run the show. You'll go there. You'll never stop. You'll be like, holy shit. I've been here for 3 hours. No, it's 2 days. And if you go to Treasure, let's just finish them off. Go to just Treasure on Google, and boom, you're right there.
And mention the done deal.
Oh, yeah, done deal. Jesus Christ.
I saw a couple people win on that one.
Yeah. Oh, lots of people. Everyone.
Yeah, that was a huge win.
I saw a guy jump. He's like, the done deal. I got the done deal.
Done deal all day.
The done deal.
Yeah, no, that place is Done Deal City right there.
Yeah, that is Done Deal City.
Yeah.
For sure.
use the done deal at Treasure when you're in Barcelona, which you will be because Barcelona is a cool town, right?
Absolutely.
You're like, oh, that was easy. That was accessible. That was cool.
Totally.
Yeah. So you get weed, join clubs.
That was probably pretty mind-blowing for you guys, though. Especially you. Since you came there, there's no clubs. There's maybe like a couple underground clubs, and then
yeah, I was at some of the first ones, and so I knew it was happening, and then my friend opened up his last year, literally at the sort of the time we were there, and a lot's happened in that last year. So I saw pictures. It was like rubble before, but his place is awesome. It's like huge. It's big right now. It's like by most standards, it's just not too bad. And then in the back, there's a whole other section that's going to open up next year, and then it'll be like, oh yeah, and upstairs. It's very very cool space. Staff awesome. DJ, what was your name? Rebecca.
DJ Sick.
Oh, huh?
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know her name.
Brenda or something.
Oh, Brenda.
Her name was Brenda, but I don't know her DJ name.
That was it.
I forgot to
DJ
ask her.
Brenda.
DJ Brenda from Treasure.
DJ. Okay, there you go. So, first out of the gate, new millennium.
Nope. Illuminar. Remember?
We're going to. Oh, sorry. Yeah, I didn't remember. Jeez. Oh my god. I forgot. Oh yeah, Treasure was going to go last.
Yeah.
But we were already. Yeah.
You goofed it all up.
I goofed it. Goofy. Yeah, that's what happens.
I know.
On the Adam Dunn show.
But yeah, no, we want to give a shout out to Illuminar for this awesome PC that has made everything look very awesome.
That's why our show is so much more pro looking right now.
Yeah.
Now we actually look like we have a show. Before our cameras couldn't handle the shit, and so you know how it goes.
Mm-hmm.
Josh is a very technical guy, so he understands everything that's happening. Where I'm not, and Kyle's really not. Like I'm sort of
reconfigure it.
Kyle.
Yeah, it was a lot of work.
Yeah, and I'm looking at it like, oh yeah, I bought that, and then I bought that, so I should know how that works. Kind of do, but I couldn't really the settings properly, and it would probably end up sounding like shit. So that's the point where we're at on this show.
Mm-hmm.
But now, due to the computer we got from the best fucking new sponsor ever, because the thing is, I already knew these guys were good when they first started on the scene. Then everybody sort of like started to gravitate towards them because they got just the right vibe and the right crew and the right products. So the guys from IlluminarLighting.com, check out their products, check out their lights. They have LEDs that are like these new IL7s. Yeah. They're these little bar ones, and then the ones I was talking
beautiful.
About. Yeah, super gorgeous. Everything they make is really top notch and warranted and all that good stuff. So you go to IlluminarLighting.com. You can say done deal. Something's going to happen. We don't know what.
Done deal's going to happen. That's what's going to happen.
It's going to get done. Deal's going to get done. Everything's going to happen. Done deal. Yep. And definitely they got all the double engines you need and anything, all the standards that people are using right now. Plus with LEDs, they have them in single bar and 6 bar and 8 bar and all sorts of sizes. So
good for greenhouse.
Yep. Throw a lot of light. Yeah, the singles will work just fine. And I forget the exact square footage, but we'll have them on the show, and we'll get all the actual numbers because I'll just get it all wrong and dyslexic anyway and backwards. So go to IlluminarLighting.com. Done deal, obviously. And right out of the gate now, because this is the original out of the gate because we added 2 pre-gates. This is like being on the airport again. Hello. Which gate are you on? Oh, I'm on the gate. Okay, cool. So when are you getting on boarding? Oh, I think every time we had number 8, right? Like the worst number ever. Like you're like, what? Yeah. You're in section. You're like group 8. Like yeah, group 8. So like group 1, group 2, and then it takes forever. By the time they get to group 8. There's literally only like 3 people besides us. I'm like,
right.
Wow, we got like super. That's why we got the best seats ever.
Yeah.
Because literally we paid $482 each to go to Barcelona from Denver.
Damn.
They gave us the done deal.
That's the done deal. That is literally.
Don't mention that shit on Thin Air.
See, that's the done deal.
Then you have no place for your luggage though. Then you're screwed.
Oh, we got kind of screwed and all that, but we were very smart.
Only leaving here, they really messed with us. Like, they didn't mess with us about weight after that, right?
No.
Yeah, it was just leaving here. There's that asshole.
Who had to pay more?
Huh?
What, extra weight?
Remember we had to unpack some stuff from the big Pelican case because he was being all.
Oh, because we had to make him weigh this. Yeah, we just had to move him around.
Yeah,
oh, that's right. Yeah, but overall it was good. Like we had room at least, because that's the worst when you come in. You're like double loaded, and you're like, fuck.
Yeah,
because they talk crazy talk sometimes. You're like, what? That is not even possible. They'd be like, it'll be $18,000 or something. You know, and you're like, what are you talking about? You're like, yeah. Especially because their whole thing is by weight, and sometimes it's like $100 a kilo or something like that. And you're like, $100 a kilo? Like what? Holy shit! You know. So it wouldn't be 18,000, but it could be 800 or 1,000 or more.
A lot of the times you can just tell them it's going to be your carry-on, and then when you get to the gate, you can ask them to put a tag on it.
Yeah.
And then you don't have to pay for it.
Good tip. Good tip.
Right.
I like that.
Nice.
You're like, carry on what? You're like, carry on, bitch.
Yeah.
Because it's so fucking, how big are you talking about?
Well, even just like your rolling suitcase that you bring, you know. Mm-hmm. So like if I have a bunch of stuff, which I always do, like all my drone stuff and camera stuff, then I'll walk up, say, hey, can you put this under? They'll straight up print a tag right there for it. Boom, put it under there. Don't even have to pay for it.
What?
There you go.
Good tip. New Millennium.
Yeah.
Good tip.
New Millennium.
And then when you get to the gate and you have all these bags full of New Millennium, you can smuggle those liquids right onto the plane. I don't know how the fuck you got them into the airport, but because they are all liquid, so it probably wouldn't have worked.
Yeah,
but
true that.
You can go buy New Millennium. You can go online to newmillenniumnutrients.com, check out their store finder, find out if they're near you at this point. They're kind of sporadically all over the place, but they're definitely getting more coverage than ever, a lot on the East Coast. But again, just go to newmillenniumnutrients.com, store finder. They also have a calculator so you can figure out how much nutrients you need for what you're doing. So if you're doing some particular project and you want to be right on point and not waste your money and buy a shitload of something that you only need like 1/4 of what you thought you were going to buy, and that automatically makes you a smarter grower, like better grower right there. And they're also easy because it's also based on the season, so it's not hard to see what you want to, where you are on the calendar at any given moment. And you can kind of tweak it because there's a lot of little small adjustments going along the way, which makes it a little bit more adjustable. And for terps and flavor, we've seen tons of winners coming out of this product, so we know it definitely tantalizes people's taste buds, which that's the and that is the thing. It's the tried and true. We've seen it work with large groups of people that we know smoke good weed, and they win. So you're like, all right, that's something that says something right there. Again, also very easy to work with dosatrons, things like that. So if you're growing a large scale, you can pick these products up and done deal all the way with these guys every time. Done deal.
That's DUNN.
DUNN, not the DONE. No, not that. That's a bad one. We tried the done deal on a few people. It didn't really work everywhere, right? We tried them at the Asian restaurant. That was funny. Mm-hmm. She was like, what? Yeah. What's this done deal? Can you explain?
Can you explain?
Can you explain?
That was good.
Yeah. Gray area worked, though.
Gray area did work.
Gray area worked.
So treasure and gray area.
Oh.
Yeah.
And soon, so I wanted to do the history of the gray area, but we didn't get to do that one video because John wasn't working, and I only want to do it if John's there because I want to have the verification of what I'm talking about, so we're all on the same page.
Yeah.
Because him and I had a little meeting. It was nice, but we were like talking about the origins of it, and I'll make a whole story about it. So. Coming soon. I mean, I've already talked about it some other times, so people could figure it out. They could go listen to every single show. The one time I said about the gray area, how I named it, but it's there.
Did you mention another New Millennium shout out or something?
No, probably not.
Just check all the New Millennium shout outs.
But now we're done almost with New Millennium.
We're on to Incredible.
Oh, yeah. D-Money was supposed to come here, but he didn't.
Oh.
So where the hell
he got held up at that one thing. He was got all busy with
that one stuff.
Yeah.
Ooh,
no, but
420 special.
But D Money gave me some of his little personal head stash for the pens, and it was nice.
420 special. Buy any 300 milligram Incredibles product plus get any Incredibles 300 plus milligram gummy product 25% off.
Booyah!
That's crazy. They must have told all the dispensaries to do that. That's cool.
Yes, sir. So there's a discount. That's a done deal right now.
Yeah, so if
we're calling it
done deal, you've already got it. You already got that.
That's now the done deal. We're taking that over. That's now our deal.
Done 100%. Deal 20
done
special.
Deal, done 20. Okay, there you go. Boom. So now you know. Done deal's spreading like wildfire. Incredibles has it. Also on fire with all of them is flavors and terps of all sorts. Great chocolates, CBD products, bath bombs, everything in between. So you can like go like, all right, this is definitely covering all about bases now. Go to their website, go to iloveincredibles.com, check them out. You can see the full line of products there, and you can also see their store finder and see that they've completely crushed Colorado like it's like a nuclear assault. They're just it looks like there's everywhere. It looks like war games back in the 70s, the 80s or whatever it was. 80s. That one game we used to play with.
What's the 80s?
What's the 80s? It was a time zone. People lived. I was there. There was people living back then. Now
I've heard about it.
There's a simulation going on right now everywhere. Not right now, but in the world, right?
My goodness, it's like it's not green behind us.
We can make it into whatever we want.
Crazy. We're in Amsterdam right now.
Are we here during sunset?
Yes, we're
nice. So beautiful.
Okay, so yeah, let's finish.
Let's get some tapas.
We're gonna cap it off with Amsterdam stories because we're at 6:51. So
we're doing shout outs, so you're actually.
Oh shit!
Yeah, Mark's laying.
I feel like I'm on edibles already.
Yeah, I ate too many edibles.
Right now I'm on edibles, so you can make me eat edibles like right now.
Yeah, there you go.
So, edibles.
Still got to get that 5280 bar.
We got to have that made one day. That was what I was hoping to talk about. D-Money was like, let's custom do a show, get the 5280 bar. We could do teams and we could do individuals. Because, right? 5280 bar?
Absolutely.
Would you do a team or individual TLS?
5280 challenge would be the second one. So the first one.
No, the first one could just be like I'm saying. You can do it as a group because some people can't handle. You're not going to get 5280 to like some newbie who's never ever eaten it before. That's like we were talking about earlier with Bushwick about Jamaicans using it for ceremonial to cough up all the fucking funk in their lungs, and that's how they get the asthma. That's the use of it for clearing asthma, right?
Wow.
So it's not like menthol, like, oh, it cleans asthma. Like, oh yeah, no, it's like you like glark out and then you fucking clean yourself out with it.
Wow.
So that's like that's why none of us have ever used it for asthma, probably, because none of us ever went through that fucking like, oh yeah, you got to do that. But if you had some grandma who was from Jamaica and she had that recipe, then I'm not saying nobody did it. Plenty of people did it, but average white kid from Colorado's not fucking getting it done, or from anywhere really. That's in the city or whatever. But in general, it's like those general practices are getting lost. But hopefully that'll change, and people like Incredibles. Yeah, I went back. Keep it going with products that are super consistent, and also it's basically a family, so it's not like it's factory. People think it's a huge company. No, it's still run by cool people and good spot, and they're like obviously you need a lot of people to make this shit happen, but still run really tight and nice, that's what you want in your chocolate factory. You want it to be nice.
And they still got a couple years before they sell out.
I'll totally sell it.
They still got another handful of years.
Yeah, then it's gonna turn into a factory.
Man.
Like 9. Yeah, it's gonna be like people going up like.
But it'll still be fire.
But right now, I love Incredibles.com. Okay. Build a soil. We're going to get through this, I'm telling you. Build a soil. Jeremy is the man. We know Josh loves him, of course. Right?
Yep, yeah.
So,
whole crew.
He's the guy we want on when we start talking about pH, man. He's the guy who'll be like, oh, man. I just
pH doesn't matter is what he'd say.
Of course.
Whatever.
Yeah.
Healthy. Give them cations.
And that's true. And if you're working organically, you can work without pH as far as that's why it's funny when pH is like such an issue, but it is an issue obviously with salts, and it is with certain mediums, because the mediums are already super high in pH or something like that.
They retain a lot of stuff too. So
yeah, and so Jeremy's like one of those people that you get to talk to him. He'll kind of guide you through what you need and either custom blend or sell you something that's already pre-made, but also any amendment you need, all online, delivered to your house. If you're from Colorado or New Mexico, it's for free. And it's buildtosoil.com, obviously, and then it's also 855-877-SOIL. That gets you a person on a phone who goes like, whoa, dude, I know what you got wrong because your plants are what?
Compost tea, bro.
Yeah, exactly.
Compost. Are they delivering?
That's like one of the bigger answers, definitely, I'm sure.
Are they delivering in all 50 states now or lower?
Oh, yeah, no, they do everything. But not like, the thing is, you're not going to order soil from fucking Maine just because it's going to cost too much money, because they can only do free to New Mexico and Colorado.
But he gives the recipes on the website, so if you want to make it where you're at and you don't have, and they won't ship it to you, he gives you all the information and the reasons why he does what he does.
Information.
Very transparent.
Yep.
That's
very
what
open.
Boom.
Open source, man.
Right. So anyway, 855-877-SOIL or code buildtosoil.com. Boom, boom, boom. Click it up. Done. Clickety.
Mention the done deal.
Done deal. Exactly.
And that'll get you a deal.
A deal of some doneness.
Yeah.
It'll be done. It'll be done. It'll be done. Totally.
Beating a dead horse.
The art of the done deal.
The art of the done deal. Exactly. That's going to be the new book.
Mm-hmm.
Let's drop it next year, isn't it?
I should drop it.
Yeah, no, I'm pretty sure.
And then we'll drop that one, and then I could talk about my book.
Then maybe we could talk about mycorrhizals.
Of course, because I'll have a book about it. A whole chapter in that book. So you can go and talk about mycorrhizals and talk about Mr. Ron Wallace from WallaceWow.com, right?
All of those are correct.
He is the man. He is our guy. Rhode Island based, small business, taking care of business basically, growing the world's biggest pumpkins. What else can you do? When you're doing that, you have to keep it going. You just can't stop, right? There's no stopping. You're addicted.
Mm-hmm.
So he's addicted to pumpkins. We're addicted to weed.
How big was his last one?
2068 or something, maybe a little bigger.
0.57 pounds. Yep.
Was it 2068.57?
Yeah.
So there you go.
Nice.
Was it?
Carry the 6, remainder 5.
No, was it? You just making it up? Are you making it up?
Are you not making it up?
I am not making it up. I know it was like 2068 or something. You can look it up.
Yeah.
Damn.
Ron Wallace
0.738.
2019. So he broke 2000, I think, but the other guys got a little more. Like world record, and that's the thing. It's all about the world record. And there's like European crews that are just as douchey as the other weed European crews that I know. And then it's a couple of cool European crews that are cool, just like the cool. It's the same thing, same story. And it's all the different styles, the organic and the guys who are non-organic, and then the guys who mix the two, and they take 2 vines and they get 1 vine that's organic and 1 vine that's hydro, and then organic and hydro, and then they can feed the hydro whatever they want, like pump it up.
It was how I grew the 2009 giant pumpkin.
9? No, 2000. I'm talking about this year. What it was. I know his biggest one is even bigger, but I just say
he grew the world's first 2,000-pound pumpkin.
Yeah, that was back then. But he's got bigger. Bigger. So anyway, he also grew the biggest gourd, or the biggest. What was it?
Yeah, it was a gourd or something like that.
Something like that. But it was a gourd Duncan.
He woke up one day saying that's what he wanted to do.
It was a gourd Duncan.
Grow the biggest gourd.
Gourd Duncan. It was a half gourd, half pumpkin, or something like that. Or
wow.
And then they deep fried it.
No, I didn't have. They taste terrible. That's the thing is, a gourd Duncan sounds great, but it's like you're just thinking of a turducken and getting all fucking. No. It's all those things are the most unedible, horrible pumpkins ever, but the guy who grows them is not. And he's got cool fucking products and great mycorrhizal products. So you go to WallaceWow.com, say the done deal, get some mycorrhizal products. Time right now is perfect because it's fucking springtime here at this given moment. Maybe not when you listen to this because you'll be listening to it in the future and being like, it's not the fucking spring, bro. It's fucking winter.
It's always a good time to stock up, though.
It is a good time. This is good. Yeah, it's the perfect time to mix it in. Boom, boom, boom. Let's get the party started now.
Yes.
There's no more freezing. Freezing's over. It's the second day of spring. I think it is. I mean, you never know. Colorado.
Yeah, I think we'll have more snow for sure.
Colorado's getting more snow. We had so much this year; it's been crazy. But it's good for the water table and good for the world and good for all that stuff. So in the long run, even though we have giant freaking slides and bullshit going on and craziness, it's still better than it being fucking dry and barren and horrible and watching things die of drought, because drought's really bad. Fire is bad, and it's been bad. So that's just having the idea of a
those
drought.
mudslides are going to be bad this year, though.
It's going to be another whole. Yeah, that's it. There's a whole other new. That's the whole problem with anything, nature or mechanical or whatever. Once you fucking break one thing, next thing next to it breaks down, and you just kind of get a repetitive pattern. That's why it's like you just got to be on. Somehow you get ahead of it, which I don't know. We'll see. We shall see. I keep seeing like the worst reports ever, where it's like you got till 2040. I'm like, what? It's like around the corner.
Wait, 2040? What?
Yeah, like just registering like less than a certain amount of the species on Earth, and et cetera, that will make it like where we're at the tipping point, or past that tipping point where it's just like, oh shit, we're in free fall now.
Mother Nature should have mentioned done deal. Gotten hooked up. Wouldn't be in this
They
issue.
would have. Instead of
be in a way better
leaving
situation.
it to our sponsors for getting like those extra special shows, which is we're talking almost as much as Bushwick, but not really, because it just took us a long time to get going.
Yes,
and we don't rap every time,
so next sponsor.
But we are talking about as much bullshit
so
now.
Green Farms,
one condensed time. His was just in a much better flow.
Yeah,
much better flow.
New Millennium Nutrients. NewMillenniumNutrients.com.
No, we did New Millennium Nutrients.com.
Seeds here.
No,
it's Green Farms.
Greenfarms.com. It's greenfarms.com, and the website's up, so we're super stoked because now we can send people to the website without having to go dead website. But Green Farms Co. is totally organic, no-till, great quality cannabis that you can pick up in Colorado Springs if you want to at their shop. And you have a medical card, so it's a limited audience. But there's some people out there still.
They got a grow shop up in,
and they have a grow shop in Louisville, so you can go straight to the shop, buy your own stuff, which is what we suggest, and grow your own. They have all good amendments. They have their own. They also have Buffalo is in house, so that's their own product.
I'm using that right now too.
Yeah, you are
custom mix. Yeah.
Oh, there you go. So bam, that was it. In house. Bam. They also have the Roster Rooster and their Roster Worms, and they have all sorts of. I think they even have Ron's products and all our sponsors' products from. Definitely have Build a Soil stuff in their shop. So pretty much is a conglomerate of all the cool stuff that we're talking about on the store. There's the show at one store, so go check them out. And you go to greenfarms.co. That's it?
Mm-hmm. Well, and mention the done deal.
Oh, yeah, of course. Always mention the done deal, even at the shop that they probably don't know yet, but whatever, they'll figure it out. They'll be like, oh, shit, what's that? And then we'll have to send them some official done deal cards or something. X amount of these, and you get those, or I don't know.
Is that going to be on the back of your business card now? Mention the done deal.
Everywhere you go. Our suggestion is everywhere you go.
Everywhere you go, just
do
try it.
Like we did as much as we could, and then without feeling stupid. But sometimes, depends how stupid you feel. If you feel like you can just be stupid, then you can just say it anywhere. But
I'm not the stupid one. That's the person that doesn't know what the done deal is. That's the one who's out of the loop. That's the jackass right there.
Exactly.
Yeah. So if you can play that card right, then it's a good time anyway. Every time you try, because they definitely want to know what the fuck's going on. But it helps when you have business cards that say Adam Done Show, and you leave it, and use stickers, and you stick their whole place up, and they know forever.
Barcelona's tagged up now, I bet.
Oh, shit. Yeah, we tagged the shit out of it.
Yes, sir.
We did good.
Everybody had stickers, their own personal stickers on the show. But we have to get some stickers from all our sponsors so we can take those on the next show, and then we can work that angle too. So
yes.
we're getting this shit together. It's taking us a long time, but we're slowly. We have the green screen, so we can actually change this all up and do stuff later for fun if we need to, and make it more fun. But this one didn't matter because it was all weird and crazy. It's good to get some original old school guys on and try to steer the conversation somewhere weed related sometimes, but at the same time, it's good to just let it go wherever the fuck it goes because that's fun.
Yeah, it's cool to get their opinion
and also see like they're also real smart. Like when it comes to, they all understand. Like they understand the situation. They understand the whole where we need to be, which is the most important part. And like we hoped for, we got lots of good stories. And I might even listen to this one. This might be one of the first shows I ever listened to, just to hear the stories again, because I think everybody has to hear it again at least once, because you probably missed a shitload of stuff.
Yeah.
I definitely did. Yeah. So, and that's what's good about these podcasts. You can listen to them over and over and over and over again.
Seeds here now.
Seeds here now. Speaking of over and over and over again.
Seeds here now.
Seeds here now. I think their website's back up. They went down for a minute, but that's just because they had some crazy. They got the official report. It was the Shopify refiguration of the bullshit, which they have so many products that it all just turned into a big garbled mess, and so they kind of shut their whole thing down because instead of trying to like fix the garbled mess after it turned worse, it was easier just to sort of stop it right where it went, where it was like, okay, we can deal with these orders and then we can just like shut that site down. But you could also go to the forum, which is forumseedsherenow.com, right? You know that one?
I'm looking right
I should
now.
know.
You should. I should.
Josh,
too.
are you putting up some blogs? Up
What's
there?
your deal? I'm supposed to.
It is forum.seedsherenow.
Blogging away? Just busy blogging?
No, I will be.
Well, that's the thing is like I talk so much crap on this show that I don't have time to like fill in some fucking thing. So I need somebody who can like be all. Because I guess I'll be like, forget about it. I'll be like, I gotta type more than like 4 words.
Do it while you're pooping.
Oh,
this is a man with some ideas over here.
You don't really want me doing my. Nah. That's not it.
That's coffee time, huh?
Should I read some sales here?
Oh, for sure. Speaking of.
Oh, it's still the same March Madness sales. They got Compound Genetics, Motel Rebel, Oni Seeds, and Unity Seeds 25% off. Thug Pug, Unknown Prophet, Mycotech, Keef Sweat, Riot Seeds, and Snow High 20% off. Relentless Swamp Boys, Dominion, Canorado, Crockett 15% off. Lucky Dog Seed Company 10% off. Ethos Genetics, purchase any 2 packs of Ethos and get one of the distribution's choice for free while supplies last.
And don't forget, when you're ordering the Plata, mention the done deal.
Oh, yeah. The whole thing.
He's actually sold out of everything right now. So
all done deal.
Well, then you'll be lucky to get one.
Yeah.
That'll be the done deal. You'll actually get some La Plata.
It's a done deal in general, though. All the time when you fill in the thing, you fill in done deal, and you will have a discount, 100%. So James would call in to right now. This would be his cue to call in. But our mixer burned out like a piece of shit that it was. But it's crazy because it was not that. I think it was a year old, maybe 2 years old.
No,
rest in peace.
Yeah, it wasn't very old.
It wasn't even like more than a year old.
Maybe a year and a half at tops.
All right, maybe a year.
Could probably honestly fix it, but
it's just got like no juice. Like it just doesn't.
It got fried in Europe, man.
Apparently, 120 doesn't like 220,
and the
hertz
and the power adapter shakes and makes noise.
Oh my god,
that's a new little addition they're doing.
I can still probably fix
You
it
didn't tell me
for
that
you,
part.
Huh?
You didn't tell me about that part.
Well, it was like that when it was working still, though.
Oh, so maybe it just like shorted out because it's like been loosened up and got some oomph to it, got a little oomph. Because that's the thing is like the 220 definitely will fucking blow out some stuff that has like a little kink in it somewhere.
I mean, I can literally put a new power adapter on it with 220, 120, 60, 50 hertz. I can 99% chance I can fix that shit.
All right, let's give it to you. We don't have it here, do we?
Did you not bring it?
No, because I was like, when we carry that thing.
You did not bring it.
We'll see each other. Don't worry about that. All right, that's good. See, that's what you need. You got like Josh around to like show you that you can not go buy $159 stupid thing. Or how much is it? Like $99, $100.
It's
cheap.
Yeah,
it was cheap. It's one of those things that they make it so cheap that you don't even want to waste your time.
Yeah, true
Because
that.
you're like, oh look, Josh is like, fuck it. He's like, fuck it.
Yeah,
Kill
it's
that
like
thing.
$200.
Let's smash it.
Let's smash it.
I mean, you gotta do something fun with it. That's the thing. Is like I always think, or just, I mean, I don't know, art, like spray paint it, like stick and make a wall out of it,
There you
spray
go.
paint it all silver or something like that,
Yeah.
and just use it as like some background for some fucking bullshit.
Yeah, man.
It's almost more worth it because then you're like, yeah, I didn't just throw it away. That's the problem with electronics. You save them even when they're broken because you're just like so attached to them because you spent so much money on them, and you'll have a broken down Walkman or a broken down whatever, and you'll be like, just maybe one day I'll fucking fix it, or I don't know.
Yep.
And I've carried around bags of electronics of old, like the old fucking big wide plug on the fucking iPhones and stuff. I had like so many accessories at one point that are so useless right now. And they're like, oh, I had like a VR fucking thing and all sorts of stuff like way before it was like, had like a VR, or it wasn't a VR, but it was like a screen, a little projector screen thing in a pair of glasses like 10 years ago or something like that. So it was like when the iPhone was somehow, I don't know how it pulled it off, but it did it. Like a couple times, like it like barely, but didn't last.
And a mini disc player, you got one of those probably.
I don't have any one of those.
What? Those are perfect for this kind of stuff too.
Legit. Mini disc players are perfect for what kind of shit?
For this,
Spray paint
you
on
can,
the wall.
I mean, if you just have it, you can do just low bit rate, but it's still high quality, and you can record a lot on one disc.
Oh, nah. I would just probably put it on the wall and spray paint it. That'd be way. It's like sounds like a way better idea. But you can go to seedsherenow.com. You can get your seeds for like we just talked about. You can also go to seedaholics.com and check our other site out, which is their like auction site and all their other stuff. So you can check out like the last packs, lost packs, auction packs, charity packs. Charities are always 100% to the charity and not to Seeds Here Now. So.
And then there's the forums at forums.seedsherenow.com.
Exactly. And on check out on I put that on the actual thing today. So you saw that somewhere. Some incredible artwork again. Slapped together. My slapped together artwork.
I didn't.
You didn't even see it?
Oh, I'll have to check it out when I'm on the toilet.
So no D Money today, unfortunately, but
still the D Money show.
It's still a D Money show. It doesn't matter so much because it's just a D and a dollar sign. So he didn't take up a lot of space. It was okay. He can come whenever he can come. As I knew that it would be like sometimes hard for him to leave. He had some meetings at like 5:30. Yeah, like at 5:30 or some bullshit. So it's like, yeah, you're not coming. So, but we left his name in lights. He's now famous. We had some people like that. Dave Charnick is now famous because he's been on the show. Oh, yeah. Let's talk about the summer show. Let's talk about that for a few minutes because we still have a few more minutes left.
A few more minutes left.
What?
7:12.
No, we started late.
We started late.
So
late? No way.
Oh, us?
That is,
No
I am
way.
shocked.
I know, you would never think, right? So, we got the Amsterdam behind us anyway still, right?
Yes, we do.
Oh, shit, Amsterdam. It's feeling good,
Oh,
feeling
it's
good.
beautiful out there.
Oh, it's so nice.
That canal.
Here. On the canal. Is that the photo that we took the first day when we got there?
Yeah.
Okay, so the first day we get there, we go straight to Soma's house,
Nice.
which is like, perfect introduction. We got to do the next day we got to do an interview, which is cool. We got to... it was one of those things where we got we had a lot to do in a short amount of time, so it was obviously like we couldn't fuck around too much, but at the same time I think we did as much as we could, and the crew worked good together, so we everything went smooth, for the most part everywhere we went. We didn't have any no major baggage issues, no major nothing. We didn't kill each other. That was good.
That was nice.
Didn't see. It wasn't like we went with Terry. See, then it would have been a fight. We would have started a fight.
Mark definitely was struggling to keep on his side of the bed, though. It's like,
oh really?
Yeah.
Come on, buddy.
Close quarters for some nights. So
Come on, man.
Oh, Europe, they put the beds right next to each other.
It's very European.
Yeah,
definitely very European.
Like two twin beds, and you're like, okay, twin beds where right next to each other, like
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's not really the same idea.
No.
But overall, it was a good trip, and Amsterdam was a good like sort of introduction for these guys because I could talk about once I re-explain some of the stories we're doing the show. Mark got to go; those guys got to go to the gray area and check out that, which we're also, like I said earlier, we're going to do that at some point, like a proper one. I mean, we can do that. We could literally, gray area is so small, we could do that on a fucking photo. Send us 3 photos of it not full, if you can, if it's possible, because it's not possible because it's always full.
That's what someone was saying. They're like, why would you do it at gray area? That you can fit like 10 people in their tops or something.
Tops, we know that it's always been small, but in general, it would be fun. I think we'll just get them to do a green screen somewhere, and we'll do it. We'll do it old school. We'll get some photos and we'll figure it out. We can make that work. But then you guys got to go to Katsu also.
Yep, that's right.
Got the haze.
Yeah, got to go to the Katsu. I got to see my friend Al, who works at the Katsu, but he wasn't working at the Katsu, so I didn't mind.
I tried a Dundale door, but it didn't work.
Didn't work, I know, because if Al was there, it would have worked. But then, John and Oppie don't know it yet. Now they might know it.
Yeah,
officially. Because I'm sure if they watched the Soma show and saw how wacky that was, that they'll probably want to watch this show. And it's a good follow-up. It's a proper follow-up show.
So is the Earth flat or round? What was the outcome of that?
Josh actually came on the show today to decide all this for everybody on this as a final matter. That's what we figured.
Oh, sweet.
It wasn't like we had you on here to look good. So, Josh, what do you think?
It's fucking round.
Agreed.
Round.
Well, I guess that's all the evidence I needed.
Holy shit!
Yeah,
that was
I'm always interested in like hearing everybody's thoughts, and I'll like entertain them for a bit. But
did you see that rocket recently that took off? That was like kind of kept going up and up and up, and you can kind of see. Then you can really see. But then, of course, it was just easy to like say, "Oh, it's a lens or whatever." You know what I mean? It's like, so you can see where somebody could think it's a lens because as it goes higher, it sort of looks like it's a ball lens because it's getting rounder. You know what I mean? It's like, so you don't know.
It's just a large field of view lens. That's it. You know, but still, it's fucking round.
It's fucking round.
Mm-hmm.
So we had Soma on with a snake on his head.
What?
Yeah. You didn't see that?
Oh man, I've been busy.
I
Man.
know. Well,
I've been in the jungle
excuses.
forever.
I know, Jungle Boy.
Yeah,
Sorry.
it's nice though.
Don't listen to my phone. Don't answer my phone calls. And you won't go to the jungle. No, just kidding. Actually, right now it's funny because I was saying the other day, like everybody, not you, because not you included, but at the same time, yes, and you included because we're all doing, some nice projects I think out there. And then, but I have like everybody who's worked at my farm and went off and did something is now all of a sudden going to have in the next year. It seems like it's one of those things where we can see how it works or it doesn't work, but for the most part, everybody's got these really, really killer deals, like ridiculous amounts of acreage. Uh-oh, we can't answer, can we?
Nope.
Oh, but I love that song.
We can't answer.
I know you do. No, we can't.
I don't know the computer.
What?
No, the computer. But
they wouldn't be able to hear us,
right? Except on a delay.
No, it wouldn't. It wouldn't.
Oh, they can't hear us on the radio. No.
Yeah, it'd just be on a
That
delay.
would be on a delay.
That's what I'm saying.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, how's it going?
Hey, how's it going? Yeah.
Cool, doing well.
Well, now this is the one moment in time you might want to turn your radio on. So, anyway, sorry. We can't receive because our computer's yet so strong yet so weak. What's the deal with that?
No. It's our mixer.
Oh yeah, our mixer.
That's the problem.
The computer can't do it on its own. It needs a mixer, external. Oh Jesus! If it ain't one thing, it's the other. So anyway, we went to Soma's, went there, checked it out.
Cats, crystals, cannabis.
Yes, cats, crystals, and cannabis.
Oh,
it's all there, bro. And
It's
snakes.
all there.
Don't forget snakes. That's cats, crystals, cannabis, and snakes.
So what's the deal with the snake on the head?
He was wearing it the entire show on his head, on his neck.
Like just like his hair.
Yep.
Sweet.
Sort of like the thing. It's like a little piece.
That's cool.
The headpiece.
That's cool.
So it was.
Do you have to feed it too? Like.
I mean, I
Fed a flat Earth
I think those things live off of like one rat for like so long or whatever.
Oh yeah, true that.
You don't feed them very. It's not like snacking. It's not snacking up there too much. Thank God. Get snake drizzle all over your mouth and all over your head and stuff.
Cats are trying to eat that snake though.
So anyway, Soma's was fun. Then we went off to the Bird, my favorite.
Oh,
person.
yeah.
That was good. We had a lot of good food. That was the thing. This whole trip was food friendly in the sense that it was good because I already kind of knew where to go to a few spots, so we didn't have to like fuck around and waste our time getting totally Dutched. Basically, we used to call it getting Dutched back in the day in Amsterdam because you'd just be like, really, like, oh, you got Dutched, So it's just a normal thing once you got fucked over. The Dutch hated when we said it at first, but we're like, well, it's just kind of the truth because, you'd be like, you go there and you'd be like, oh, it's like 5 minutes to closing, and they check, and you'd be like, what? And you'd be like, nope. And they'd be like, it says 6. They'd be like 5. And you'd be like, yes, it's. Oh, they wait until it's 6 now. You know what I mean? Like, and you'd be like, shit, you assholes. So It was interesting, though. We got to see the whole construction there and all the shit that went down. They built the whole museum plan. They built the central station. They built all sorts of cool stuff that was under construction for so long that it was like one of those deals where when I first moved there, they started talking about doing the railway. They did like a new subway line, and said it was going to take 8 years, and it took 20 years, you know what I mean? And I just left, and it started like maybe 5 or 6 years after I left.
Isn't that outdated by then, though? No,
Well, it just took them so long because imagine building in Holland subway.
No, it's for sure.
It's like a nightmare. Yeah. It's like what under the fucking canals and buildings, and you're just like, that's ridiculous. So they had this big machine, and it was huge, and it would like you'd see it, and you'd just be like looking down, like, oh my god, I can't believe it. And that thing would just like bore it out and lay down concrete and fucking just crazy. It took literally like 7 times as much as originally planned and 4 times as long or something. Over 2 times as long, I know for sure, but it was like, I think it was even more like 2.5 times as long. So it was like overkill project, and then at the end of the day, none of us even used it, even though we were on the same street. We just took a tram. We were just like, just take a tram. The tram wasn't even that busy, so it wasn't like, I don't know. I guess I don't know because I didn't take it, so I'm not sure how efficient it was. But it was very, in Holland, everything's super efficient. Like, the airport was ridiculous. That was like going to a club or something because it had all crazy white setup, like clean and like those automatic tray things. And it was kind of weird, right?
No metal detectors. Just all those body scanners.
Yeah, that's the thing. They only had body scanners, so I don't do the body scanner. You know that.
Well, yeah, because your uncle.
No, I told you the trick. That's the other trick. So basically,
my uncle had the same problem.
Basically, like between your free luggage, and if you have to go through the body scanner, you don't want to go through the body scanner, like myself, which a lot of people complain about and say, why don't you want to do it? I take up too long and all that stuff. But at the end of the day, I just decided not to go through it. Never have, never will. And so when I get to certain airports, they don't have a fucking metal detector. So I'm like, oh, great. This is going to suck. And then we got to Holland. And, whenever I leave Holland, I'm sure I could have weed on me. You know what I mean? Like, there's just probably over 75% chance that I have weed somewhere in some pocket. Maybe even 100% usually. And this time, even though I tried to I wasn't like I had to take any weed home or anything like that. I was just like, it's cool. I lived there long enough. I don't really need to take like a gram of weed home or something like that. I'm definitely not going to take home a bunch because it doesn't make any sense, right? So anyway, weed's fucking expensive over there. It's ridiculous. So I didn't even want to, someone gave me a little bit, and I was like, okay, that's cool. That'll work. I don't know. I'm only here for a few days. But in general, these guys obviously went and indulged in. They sent him in the right ways. Hopefully, they may have bought some swag too. But it's just like, it's definitely not the days of yesteryear out there. I mean, it's kind of like, it's like, yeah.
I had fun.
Yeah,
it's pretty crazy to me.
Oh, the vibe is super crazy.
Yeah,
Super duper crazy.
Mm-hmm.
And what was I talking about there? I had some story, but I lost it. Story lost.
Yeah,
it.
that one time in Amsterdam.
No, was it the one
Talking
time?
about the
one time
security scans.
Oh, security scans. Yeah. So anyway, then those guys.
Uncle.
Good job. So then that's not really a trick. It's just a suggestion because those guys. Every time I go through, I'm always waiting for them to say, "Wow, why don't you do it?" You know. And if you just say, "I don't want to do it because I don't trust it," then they're just like, "You're a douche." So what I always do is make up a story because I'm never going to see them again, and who cares? And they work for TSA, so who gives a fuck? And I always just like go, "Oh, well, you know, my whole family were all police officers and military and." And then the kind of guys are like, oh, okay. Because, they want to be military or police, right? So, and I say, well, military way back, but now it's just pretty much police. And then they're like, oh, okay. Because I do have a relative who is a cop in Massachusetts. And he's the older one, definitely retired. And then the youngest one was a state police officer in Rhode Island. And then that one retired, I think, a year ago. So for the longest time, I did have a police officer in my family somewhere. But it was like cousins and that I haven't seen since I was a kid or whatever. But the story is that doesn't exist, of course. But my dad, who's dead now, and he was a junkie, so I can make up a story about him. He won't. It's not a big deal. It's not like he never made up a fucking story about himself, right? So I'll use dead dad now because he's already dead, so I don't have to worry about making him. It's not like, holy shit, dude, you're dead. It's like, yeah, it's my dad because he would have probably said the same thing in some stupid hustle weird thing back in the day. But I'd say, oh, my dad was a cop. And, and his uncle was a cop, and, blah, 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 blah. I make up some bullshit Irish because I'm half Irish, so it makes sense. I'm a dun. There's fucking 8,000 cop duns, I'm sure, out there, especially in New York. So it's not like impossible that there's a dun somewhere out there. And it's about a fucking highway cop anyway. So it's no one gets shot. There's no dead. It's not about a cop who gets killed like that. But it is about a cop who's working as a fucking highway patrolman, and he fucking has that laser tag, the laser gun when it first comes out, and he like puts it down on his crotch every time he fucking sits there while he's waiting around.
Oh my god!
And he gets fucking testicular cancer, right? And he fucking dies super young, like 50 or something like that, 48. Some dumb young age, because he started as a cop at 19, and it's like it was like the right when they first started using them, it was super unsafe. Anyway, something along those lines. And then I said, yeah. And then they told him it was safe. You know what I mean? And so I'm just like kind of not really interested in machines that have fucking any kind of radiation or emit some sort of radioactive thing and or waves or any kind of thing that's gonna fuck up something possible, even if it's impossible, just rather not, right? And then they're like, okay. And by the time they're like usually a little nervous, and then I kind of go like, yeah. As a last line, I'll usually use like, yeah, because I'm only going through these things and I'll walk around it, but you gotta like stand next to that shit all day.
Exactly.
And then I'll walk away, and then I'll be like,
can't sleep that night.
Just knowing that the guy's all like, oh, that guy fucking creeped me out.
Holy shit.
That's my goal. That's my whole goal on every trip. Tell that story. But they never ask you because they're like trained to be douchebags. That's their whole thing. It's like,
guy asked me at one of the airports. He goes, "Oh, you don't like radiation?"
I know, because that was the country, but that's the thing. I got asked at Heathrow, because when we went through Heathrow, I did the same thing. I opted out. They took me to a secondary room, patted me down, then they asked me why I didn't do it. Had plenty of time to talk to them, and they were all English, so it made it all super nice, of course, like, so why don't you want to take it, mate? And so I was just like, told them that story, and then they were like, oh, that's great. Okay, well, here you go. And it wasn't like they were like super tweaked out about it, but at the same time, there was definitely no, it didn't make them, wasn't like the thing that makes you think like, oh, great. Well, that's a stupid reason why. They were like, that's a pretty good reason why. You know what I mean? So
they respect that. They respect that story.
Mm-hmm.
I got a sorry about that.
Completely made up story. So, anyway, they respect my completely made up story. That's a win. That's a win. The win at the TSA. Now, it's like, it is one of those things where you're kind of like, and Cece got karate chopped. So there you go. That was one of
Oh, yeah. She got the old karate.
Yeah. The reverse karate chop at the she always opts out too, you know.
Wow.
Yeah.
Damn.
And then she went back and kind of bitched out at people like, fuck. And then they were just like, whatever, fill out this paperwork. And that's the thing about TSA. They just have they don't really have to worry about stuff. Like they do that now. They take their hands across all guys like this backwards with their hands back. And you get certain people who are pretty like, you know, it depends on what you're wearing too. Like you're wearing something that's like, it's like summertime. You're like, got something thin on. They're just like, boom. It's like a speed bump every time. Boom, boom, boom. They like speed bump you 3 times. You're like, how's it going down there? You know, it's like you almost like if you were a super asshole, you would just go down there with a huge boner and just like let them fucking. But I'm just not that kind of guy. But at the same time, I could just see somebody be like, yeah, go ahead for it. Everybody do it. Boners at the
Give me the old done deal.
That's the done deal. That's the official done deal on that one for sure. But anyway, so they're douches. We have achieved that. We all know, and that's the thing is that because they work for TSA and they don't give a fuck and they don't understand. I don't really respect it that much. I had it one time though where I was in Chicago on a transfer and I had to go through like a double because sometimes you know how we do that double bullshit where you're like, what? I'm already inside the airport and I gotta go again to security, and then you're like all discombobulated with your shit because you're like putting shit in different pockets and you're like trying to find your stupid tag, and we didn't have our things and we were all lame. We had to go back to the second lines and do all that bullshit. But you know, it's like for the most part it's way better than it used to be. Like as far as like I could pull off this whole trip with 6 people, you know, moving in and out, which is pretty good. Like off my phone, 2 a.m, all fucking stoned. And not fuck it all up. That's pretty good.
It's pretty good. Huge. Yeah. No one died. We're good.
No one died.
No major diseases.
No tickets of any sort.
No tickets.
Not yet.
Nice.
We'll see.
Not yet.
See that credit card. But you know, it happened though. It's really funny. Is the money that I had for the trip when I got home? Like, because when I got I think on the way home I was looking at the plane and I was like, it was like $800 in the account or something like that. I was like, oh, that's a pretty fucking good trip. Came home with actual money in the account, and then I woke up this morning and it was like $89. I was like, oh,
that makes
you
sense.
Motherfucker. But at the same time, considering I knew exactly, you know, everything in that account was for that trip, so it wasn't like an account, like it wasn't my main account.
Yeah.
So I'm not actually at $89. I'm close, but I'm not actually I ain't much more than that. I mean, I think my other account might have one other number in it, but that's about it. But at the same time, for the most part, it was crazy because I was like, oh wow, $89. Considering like we were like grabbing hotels and doing stupid shit at the end, just like fuck it.
Yeah.
Cab ride, 2 double cab rides.
Spain is surprisingly cheap though. You know, not Amsterdam, but Spain is for sure.
Yeah, Spain is. Amsterdam definitely not. You're right. There's, but at the same time, it really varies so much there. It's crazy. There's like, you know, there is $50 rooms, but they definitely smell like mothballs in their $50 rooms. We had one of those on the way out. That was crap. Mm-hmm. I mean, it was like okay for one night, but it was definitely like, you know, it was near the airport too. Oh yeah, so that was cool. Yeah. But it was like a weird one, a weird off-road kind of bullshit one. But it was alright. It was alright.
It worked for me.
Did you have a bathroom inside your room?
Yes, we did.
Oh, nice. Okay, so it wasn't too bad.
Yes, it was a decent enough room. It was it was the last room, and it was the stinkiest bathroom we had. Because that's the thing about Spain. And it was in Cadaqués, actually, where I used to live back in the day for a short time, where I had some friends there, and we lived right across from Messi, which was kind of funny. So Cadaqués is like real rich, and then it's also it's got like near the airport too. It goes down the backside of the airport. So we were obviously on the backside of the airport side, which is not the nicer side. But even the house that we were in over there stank. It had like kind of one of those just old funky sewer smells.
Historical smells?
Historical smells, yes, very nice.
America doesn't have that; they just have strip mall smell. And
we're working our way though. We got like New Orleans. That's pretty authentic. Oh. It's starting to get there. You know, Amsterdam has its own in the summertime, not so much in the wintertime, but it's it's just you guys got the vibe of it at least a little bit on the last day. It was kind of a little cloudy-ish or whatever, but you know,
you guys had sun?
Oh, we were so lucky, dude. We had
good.
3 days. It said rain, and we were like, oh, classic. And then we got up there, and it was like not so bad, pretty fucking nice, and then shitty. Not shitty, but like getting kind of like
normal. Yeah.
Normal. Yeah, normal. Exactly. Yeah, exactly. Did I say shitty? I meant normal. You're right. It was like, what?
We're just spoiled out here in Colorado.
No, it was. I mean, we're definitely more bright even on a shitty day here.
Yeah.
So that's. I don't know if that's a song, right? Is that a song?
Mm-hmm.
Even bright on a shitty. I don't even know.
If it's not, we can make it one.
Bam, we're making this song. But no, it was like one of those deals where I wouldn't have cared if it did rain, but it was a lot better it didn't.
Yes.
Because if it did rain, I would have definitely been like pissed off. I never want to go back. But at least when it didn't rain, I was like, it's kind of nice, but not really. And I was like, it's still like lost its fucking sparkle, which I liked at least. I mean, I'm sure somebody loves it. They go over there for the first time. They're like, "What? This place is great." But I was like already over it pretty fast, and like, okay, probably go back in 3 more years or something like that and check it out. Maybe I won't do quite 7. 7 was a long time.
Are a lot of the shops closed down now too?
Yeah, or changed
compared
hands.
to like, because last time I was in Amsterdam was like 2009, and there was just every block.
No, there's definitely less shops, and not happy people working at the shops, as far as even the owners and stuff, all kind of pissed off and grumpy, and just like they kind of always were, but before they were for just the old-fashioned Dutch reasons, and then now they are because of international global reasons. You know what I mean? They're globally pissed off now instead of just like locally, like before it was like grumpy about the weather or some bullshit, which you got to be because it was shitty weather all the time. But at the same time, now the weather's gotten, like last year was record temperature, dude. It was fucking hottest. I mean, it's not that it was good weather, but it was hottest fucking recorded thing ever in the last 30 years or whatever. So it was like over 100 degrees for 30 days in a row or something like that in Holland. Yeah. So people just fucking like lost their minds this year as far as like what, like there you go. There's some global warming like in a fucking nutshell, but it also made it like unbearable for a lot, because those places are fucking not ventilated well.
No, hot, like 80-90% humidity.
You can't even dip in the canal to get cool.
You wouldn't want to.
Yeah, I know. That's like the shitty part. You're around a whole bunch of water, and you're like, can't even take a dip.
Yeah, it's pretty sad. It's like one of those things where it's like I've actually seen people swimming in the canal in the center of the town too, where I was just like, holy shit, but like obviously drunk people, yes, but I saw some people that were like doing it as a contest, and I was like, couldn't believe it. That's when I first got there. That's when I first got there, and I was kind of like, no way. But it was also just a little bit out of town. It was like well, as we drove out, we went by my old house, and I said, oh, there's my old house. It was in that area, which is the Rijstelkade, which is kind of outside of town a little bit, and I'm in the very ring roadish part, like not ring road, actual ring road, but like kind of the outer ring, and yeah, people swimming right there, and I was just like, holy shit. And I'm sure they got some serious bacteria going on there, but
yeah, you don't want to eat the fish there, that's for sure.
And I've seen people, but a lot of people swim on the outside of the town, and there's Dutch are very resilient, that's for sure. They'll take it on anytime. Where did that noise come from? That was you?
Oh, that was me. Sorry.
Oh man, rocking us out, crazy.
We should bring the theremin over here.
Oh shit! There's a theremin in here. You were loving it, dude. I don't think we can like pierce everyone's ears with the theremin right now. I mean, I don't know.
No.
Theremin solo, dude.
Theremin all up in here, but we could bust it out on one show soon. So, any shout outs you want to do, Josh? Any shout outs?
Yeah, for sure.
Shout out, man.
Just the whole Bloom County crew.
Bloom County.
Snack Pack Extracts.
Snack Pack Extracts.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Yeah, and just all the La Plata crew too. Pretty much.
The crew.
Just the basic.
Where can we find you online? At all?
I mean, everyone knows pretty much.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah, don't even say it.
Yeah, no, you can
Sweet.
He's like Marshmallow Head or whatever. You seen that guy?
What?
Some DJ Marshmallow.
Oh,
Head.
yeah.
Oh yeah, for sure.
That is
He
ridiculous.
yeah.
Yeah, he's that, but today he just forgot to wear his.
Yeah, out in Southern California.
I don't know
His
what
West
guy
Coast
is.
next
We're not going to tell you who I am. No, that's the problem.
Hmm?
I have a whole new thing. I'm here, but I'm really another guy, but you can't see what I am. So therefore, I'm always a disguise, bro. Because you actually don't know.
Is that
what
the
I
cap? Are you talking about
yeah,
cap now?
that's my new thing. I made up a new thing right now. So I don't have to wear this stupid fucking thing all the time. That's the problem. Imagine like if you said, I am fucking Lightbox Head, right? And you had to wear that Lightbox on your head all the time because you said it one time all fucked up and somebody started paying you and you just became that guy. That would be horrible, right? You'd be so sick of yourself after so you'd be like, oh my God, I can't believe I'm pouring myself out as the Lightbox Head, right? But if you say that you are a certain character and you make it all cool, but people can't see it and they don't know what it exactly looks like, and you just pretend, and then you just don't have to wear the damn thing, and somehow convince them, then you're a genius. You know what I mean? You're like, dude, everyone believes me. I don't know how. It's like the Emperor wears no clothes, but reversed. Yeah, I don't know, dude. Super high. All right, tell me what you got, Kyle.
What do you mean what I got?
I don't know. Shout out to Crested Butte and all the fucking hotties or what?
Always shout goes out to them, you know?
Yeah, somebody like
seeing
that.
you all later.
I'll be seeing you all later. Closing time.
Yeah, you already know. But no, shout goes out to the European vacation.
Oh,
you
sure.
and CC take us out there, and Josh and Bob and Mark. That was a fun time. We had a blast.
Yeah,
it was a good time. Checking out the park, wandering around the city. I mean, that was.
We're gonna. Oh,
that
you
was
should.
killer.
Oh, do you have that photo? Yeah, did CC share that photo with you? Can you throw that up?
Which one?
Sticker wall thing. We can throw that up as a background today.
Sticker wall thing.
Sticker wall thing. We did on the plane. Remember I banged together that little.
She didn't send it to me.
What?
No.
All right, so I'll have to do that. I'll send it right now.
Someone's gonna get fired.
No, I thought we just. Oh no, because you don't have a thingy-majigger. That's the problem.
That's my thing is I don't have a thingy-majigger.
Yeah.
I need
Did Luminar not? Did they not buy a thingamajigger?
Yeah, this laptop didn't come with a thingamajigger.
Shit.
So
All right,
that was the one upgrade. That's what we should have done.
Hold on.
Oh, I didn't see that either.
No, because you were sleeping or something like that.
I was definitely sleeping. You bet your ass I was.
AKA Mr. Sleeps a lot.
Yeah, I might have slept a little bit during the show too.
Did you?
Well, you know that chair was pretty comfortable. That's clearly the boss's chair.
Yeah.
Put my head back for 2
Okay,
seconds.
so now I gotta actually put my glasses back on. I managed to not lose my glasses the whole trip too. I dropped them so many times because every time
You broke them
you
first
broke
thing.
those ones.
Oh,
It was
no,
like the first thing you did was break
No,
them.
that's true. I broke the thing at first. You're right. All right, that's what I was doing. See, I was looking at the completely wrong thing because I wasn't paying attention. So here, I'll just send this up, and we can use this as our breakaway.
Oh, and shout us out to Treasure.
Yeah, well, that was obviously. Talk it up.
Man.
Talk about it. Talk about all things.
That was an awesome club. Some sweet artwork. It was at Gallo and London Police. That was.
All right, so you're gonna get it any second after technology.
Technology's happening right now.
Yeah, see, this is the thing I don't like. I don't even like these waves. The wavelengths in those fucking machines are like off this chart. They're not even in
Yeah, and you keep that shit in your pocket, man.
Oh,
I know,
man.
and I'm
Did
already
you-
done.
Your uncle, he died from that. Your dad, sorry. Pardon
No,
me.
my dad. Yeah. Uncle doesn't
I
like
can't keep track of all this.
You have to say
BS.
dad because if you say uncle, it's just like, all right, whatever. But if you say dad, you're like, oh, dude, sorry, bro. It's just automatic. You can get away with the uncle shit.
Yeah.
You can just be like, yeah, okay.
Yeah,
well,
they're not going to
so-
argue with you about it.
No. Did you get that?
Yeah, I got it.
Are we up?
So
All
shout
right.
goes out to all the guests that
Shout-
joined.
Yeah, and shout out goes out to all the people who went on the shows the last couple of days
Bobby
too.
Black,
In this
April.
exact room behind us right now, I believe. I don't know if it's behind us or not.
Not yet.
But if it is when it does, and it is, and it's not, but it is when it is, and it comes, and you can look, it's the actual door that we did the show behind. So the show kicked ass. We did it with we had Ed Rosenthal, we had Danny Danko, we had
Bobby Black,
Bobby
April Black.
April Black, star-studded
Maya.
event. 2 different other days. We had another day with other people. We had also Noel was on there. We had also we had
Peter,
yes, we had
Nicotine,
Chloe,
Chloe,
yes, all the girls. We had Maya from Whoopi and
Crystal.
Maya.
Damn.
And yes, it was a big star-studded event. 2 days in a row, back to back, like fucking clockwork, like we were like a military operation. just doing it, keeping it going. Somehow, magically, I don't know, through chemicals. We just managed to keep it rolling. The power of chemicals. No, it was good.
Yep. DuPont, better living through chemistry.
No, it wasn't those kind of chemicals at all. It was those killer ones. And then, had those. Had a good walk in the park. Had a little. That was cool in the Parc de Gaulle. Had a good time in Amsterdam. Had a good time in Spain. Managed to not lose all our bags, so it was 100% success. Computer's still working. Mixer's dead. A couple things that went along the way.
Show still went on though without the mixer.
The show went on. We killed it. We did use that, and I brought that Zoom just in case, thinking like I'll never use it, and I was going to be dragging that shit around forever. And somehow it became useful, which is always a great. It's always nice when you like actually bring some bullshit that you're just so bummed about, and then it becomes like the key to the fucking world, and like you're like, yes, I am so glad I dragged this shit all around. But a lot of times it's the opposite. You drag shit all around and you fucking never use it, and you're so pissed that you just fucking just waste of space and time and energy. I've had that for so many other products I bought where I'm like, I'll never use it. So anyway, shout out to Cece, beautiful wife. We had a great trip with her. That was also killer. It was just like got to go to all the places we had been before and got to new places. That's important. Treasures up behind us, right?
Yeah, we got the door.
The door. Oh man! And all the stickers. See those stickers? Those are like not actual stickers, obviously, because it's all Photoshop, bro.
Not all of them.
No, just the big one. A couple big ones are in there. But that was the funny thing is that I was hoping Petey would see it and freak out and run in the back and look at the door and make sure. Think that they fucking stick in my door, man. Fuck. Yeah. So we selectively stuck on the door. We did not leave it in this much of a mess. But
right.
In general, killer place, done deal. Didn't we have any somewhere else around there with a done deal? Wasn't there another Spanish done deal or no? Try
the restaurants and try the other.
Try the what's the place you guys went to? We went to twice now.
Oh, Panorama.
There you go.
Yeah, with the racist
go to
Looney Tune cartoons.
I went there once. You went there twice. Racist cartoons on the big screen. 24/7, bro.
All you want.
all you want.
Cartoons they don't show anymore.
All you want racist cartoons.
It was funny because we sat down and I was like, oh, it's Looney Tunes. And then in my mind I was like, oh, yeah, they're all racist or whatever. And then every time I looked over, it was something that was like even more fucked up than the last thing I saw before it.
Jeez.
Yeah, it was like, wow, I can't remember them being that
racist.
Crazy, yeah.
They hit every fucking genre, everything. They had Jews and Hitler. They had, everything. It was like... You're like, oh, this is totally not acceptable. Indians, Asians, disrespected everybody, pretty much.
Not everybody. They were pretty respectful to the white people.
Well,
they were definitely super respectful to the whites.
They got like the deep south type.
Okay, they did.
Okay. They got the dumb hick. Yeah, anyway, it was really bad. And it was like running, and we were like, of course, all like mesmerized, like, what the fuck?
I remember watching that.
But then we were like, yeah, I remember that. Oh, and I remember that. And I remember that. It's like, oh, yeah, we watched all this shit. So we've been programmed with all this crazy racist shit as children on cartoons, which is kind of like, and then you watch the cartoons now and they're even faster and more. They're not more racist, but they could be. Like in the long run, you never know. You're just like, oh shit. I think there's a lot of more hidden sex stuff than anything in these things. Like, yeah. Especially the Japanese ones. I cannot not be addicted to. Oh, for sure. There's no way there's not giant penises coming into the picture somewhere down the road where you're like, oh my God, that's a giant penis. No kidding, man. What you think? Because, yeah, they don't quite have that other edge, but they definitely have that edge. Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. And on that note, shout out.
How did it was Nick pumped to see you?
Oh, of course. Don't forget about Nick. I was going to say right there. Shout out to my little Nick, of course. No, he was definitely stoked. He basically told, because we had two babysitters. We had our friend Melanie in the first part, and she killed it. And then we had Leanne, and she killed it also. She crashed my car a little bit, but it's okay. She didn't crash it too bad.
It's a little dinger.
yeah, it was one of those deals where it's like,
what? That wasn't there? I thought that was there the whole time. What are you talking about?
No, she told me
always had a fucking dent right there.
She told me the story. She basically, the thing about it that was kind of like one of those deals where it's like, yeah, I probably would have done the same thing. So I just said, fuck it. So she basically like was picking him up at school, and then she like turned the corner, and on Broadway, when you turn on to Broadway from this one corner that's like really shitty because the traffic just starts to go double in this one area.
Down south?
No, over by like 19th or 20th or something like that. There's 20th Street where it just drops down, and it's like all of a sudden you turn the corner and people don't know what to do. And so this lady like kind of came in on the right side of my truck, and there's all red paint on the side of my truck now. Oof. And
red goes well with gray.
Apparently, according to my mom's friend who was babysitting, she said, "Well, the other lady's car was really fucked up." So basically, I somehow just sent a talk to her out, just like drove away basically and said later, like whatever, like it's all good and like we're good. And she, okay, we're good. So I'm like, oh really? So that'll be interesting to see what her husband thought when she drove home. So she said the doors were both kind of dented. I don't know. So it sounded terrible. So I was like, okay, we'll see how that plays out.
Could have been worse.
But I like to say again, like just because people's insurance goes up so much when you claim your accidents, that it's not even almost worth. You like permanently don't want to do it unless it's really worth it. You know what I mean? But she totally hit. Apparently, this lady just like drove right in, and the guy from the shop came out and said, "Hey, lady, she totally just hit you." And I was like, "Well, why did you just? Yeah, you should have. Then now you could have got a truck, man. At this point, shit, damn. Oh well, such is life. But the kid's alive, and the trip was great, and the guys got to go see a lot of shit, and we had good shows. So watch those shows. Watch us next week. I think we're pretty much done, and peace out to all the sponsors. Thanks, guys. Peace.
Practically every one of the top 40 records being played on every radio station in the United States is a communication to the children to take a trip, to cop out, to groove. The psychedelic jackets on the record albums have their own hidden.
This is a special question. We don't want you to smoke genetically modified ganja. We want you to smoke the real thing. We want you to smoke the natural herb. Some call it marijuana, some call it sensimedia, some call it lamb's bread, and some people call it ganja.